Hello. Hi, we're back. Hi, chat. And we have Julia here.
Hello.
Hello. Can you guys hear us okay? Everyone here, let me know if you can hear and if the audio's good and everything. Hello. Welcome to
Hi.
everyone. Say hello to Julia.
It's nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much, Nalvara, for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. It's so nice. It's so exciting. This is our first time having a game developer on the stream, so it's like really exciting for
Oh,
me.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's I've
Nice.
always wanted to, but we've never like had the right fit. This is
Mm.
a perfect fit because I love these kinds of games and you're
Oh.
amazing, so it's going to be great. So thanks for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. This is awesome.
Do you want to start maybe just by, basic introduction of what, just in case anybody's here who doesn't know? I think most people are either played your game or saw me play the game, but who are you
Yeah.
and what brings us here?
Yeah. So, hi everybody. I'm Julia Minamata, and I made the Crimson Diamond. I did everything except for the music. Dan Pollicar, the musician, did a wonderful job on the music, and I hope you guys have been enjoying that. And yeah, we just launched last week, and it's been super exciting. I also stream myself on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We call it Crimson Tuesdays, and I've been streaming for the past 4 years, just game art development, but nothing spoilery. Like I didn't spoil anything about anything from chapter 2 through the rest of the game, just doing like introductory sequence art and stuff like that.
Wow.
Dan also composed music for the game, like live on stream as well. So
Oh
that's
wow,
kind of
that's
what
so
we've
cool.
been
Dan
doing.
was in our
Yeah, yeah.
chat the other day, so it was
Oh,
really cool
fantastic.
to be
Yeah, he's
like,
awesome.
oh my god, like it's. I think the music is such a big part of our enjoyment of the older games because there wasn't a whole lot of it all the time. Sometimes it
Yes.
surprises you, like a little jingle when you die.
Yeah, that was something that, like, I mean, the reviews have been like every review's been positive so far, which has been amazing. Like more than 150 reviews on Steam.
Oh my goodness.
But some of the feedback, of course, is stuff like some people they're used to that, like a lot of silence in the game,
Mm.
and then and some people are saying that, they wish that there was more music or ambient noise in the game. And I know for some streamers are used to like having some ambient music just all the time when they're playing,
Mhm.
and because they don't feel that comfortable with the silence, and some of them like don't mind the silence. It's kind of like we were talking actually, me and Dan the other day about, yeah, should we add more ambient sound, and we were talking about maybe doing more ambient music, but we decided just to leave it as it is because it seems like for the most part people are okay with it.
I find the balance to be nice. I definitely like where there is audio, like when we've died or something exciting, like the eavesdropping audio is so
Mhm.
cool. It almost makes it more exciting when there is audio when it's not there all the time. But I'm
Oh, good, I'm
definitely like
glad.
when I played Police Quest, I had to put on some background music because there's
Mm,
pretty much no music, so I found it sometimes awkward. But
mhm.
yeah, it makes it stand out, I think, a little bit when there is audio. But yeah, it's a personal. I'm sure you've had to butt up against that a lot of like what is a personal like a choice
Yeah.
of what you would like as a player versus what maybe modern games are more known for doing.
Yeah, and to be honest, for my own personal choice, I remember playing like Police Quest. Well, not exactly Police Quest, but other Sierra games, King's Quest and things like that. And they did the same thing. Well, for them, they didn't have enough room on the disc to have constant music. And I guess I kind of got used to that. And I actually prefer like that contemplative silence and then punctuated by, yeah, those musical
Yeah.
stings or sounds and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was actually, I mean, we can get into what made you make this game, but I was very curious comparing your game development journey to how the classic games would have been made, right?
Hmm.
Like you said, disk space would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Technology at the time would have been a problem. So
Yeah.
when approaching a game that is modern but inspired by those games, like how did your development process differ?
Right. It differed drastically because I had the advantage of all these amazing new tools at our disposal for making games. I use something called Adventure Game Studio for my game, which is like totally purpose built for making exactly that.
Oh,
And when things like the Colonel's Bequest came out or King's Quest came out, this was like the kind of the industry was almost like in its infancy for adventure games, and the people that were making the games were actually having to also make develop the tools that they were using to make their games as well at the same time,
mm-hmm.
which I can't even imagine like that
Yeah.
idea. So they were super technical about what they were doing, and they were involved not only in the creative side but the engine development side simultaneously. And so from that standpoint, I was able to, when I came in, when I started making this game like many years ago, I was able to, get a hold of Adventure Game Studio. I could watch let's plays of Adventure Game Studio made games. on YouTube. I could watch tutorials about Adventure Game Studio. I could visit the forums, ask questions, and none of that stuff was available to people, like 30 years ago when
Yeah.
they were making games like this. So it was completely different. I was able to accomplish something kind of similar to those Sierra games, but kind of on my own because of the advantage of the tools and the resources that I had.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's incredible that you have it's such a different experience, but kind of walking that path of like the tools that they invented or used
Mhm.
30 years ago. What made you, starting from the beginning, like what made you want to make this game, the Crimson Diamond?
I was a freelance illustrator for a while before I tried to make a game, and so I was doing, like, magazine and newspaper illustration,
Okay.
and it was kind of slow going, and I was really trying to, get some momentum on my career, and that didn't seem to be happening, so I had a lot of, like, extra time on my hands, and I started to look into, yeah, like when I mentioned those YouTube Let's Plays and stuff. I'd see stuff like the Ben Jordan games and the Chizo Mythos. Ben Jordan games are made by Francisco Gonzalez. Chizo Mythos was made by Yahtzee Croshaw, and they were making their games in Adventure Game Studio, and they're making them all by themselves. And I found that super inspirational.
Hmm.
And I also learned kind of accidentally how to make pixel art in Photoshop, which is what I would be using for my illustrations. And I started to look at what games I would like my art to look like if I was going to make pixel art. And my favorite era was that EGA, like Colonel's Bequest and the early King's Quest and Space Quest games. And of course, you go on the internet, you can find all the backgrounds, like beautiful,
Hmm.
so you can take a look for reference. And I was analyzing how they did things, and that was really my starting point. Was just kind of wanting to recreate pixel art, and
Wow.
making a game actually kind of happened organically on the way as I was
Yeah,
kind of
from the
exploring how to do that.
illustration perspective. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
amazing. I mean, because I think that's the first thing people say when they join chat is the art's beautiful. I mean, the art like brings you back to that nostalgic time period, but better. Like, I mean, it's
Mm.
riffing on that, but the shadows, the light, like everything is so good. So I think from when I first saw the game, I would have thought that you would have hired someone. Like, oftentimes they hire an artist to come in and
Mhm.
do the art for the game, but it's amazing that you've approached it from the illustration standpoint, or like a love of that old
Yes.
art.
Yeah, that was definitely my starting point, and I think for, like, a solo game developer to be an artist first and then kind of teaching yourself coding later, I think it's actually an advantage because for solo game projects, you have a very limited budget, if any, and art is one of the more expensive,
Mm.
things to put in a game, so if you can generate your own art, it's a real big advantage.
Mm.
Another developer who's like that is Meredith Gran, who made Perfect Tides, also an Adventure Game Studio game. She did cartoons first. She's an illustrator as well, and she taught herself Adventure Game Studio and then made her game, and it's just so cohesive and beautiful. Um, I think also when you're making a game on your own, it is so important to be able to distinguish yourself visually,
Mm.
and being an artist first, that's you have a greater chance of being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I yeah, I think I love that art style of the olden, like even I love the text parsing aspect, but I love the art. Even though I always joke that King's Quest One looks like it was made in paint or something, like it's so basic, right? But for some
Mhm.
reason, it just tugs at your heartstrings in a funny way. The
Yeah,
colors do.
that's exactly how I felt about it because, yeah, I mean, when I was my illustration stuff wasn't working out for me, and I was kind of like at a bit of a low period, and I started to think about what made me feel good when I was a kid, those, kind of nice memories and all those nice childhood experiences sitting in front of the computer, just
Mm.
typing away and trying to figure stuff out. And that's why I went back to that. And my one of my biggest goals for the game was to make other people like to recreate that feeling in themselves when they play it,
Hmm.
and it seems like people are really enjoying it, mainly for that reason, is that they said this really takes me back to that time, and that's kind of what I wanted most of all.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that like trying to embody that in a game is so difficult, but you did a really good job. I feel like that's part of I mean, why I like streaming those kinds of games because it reinvigorates that feeling that people had. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I remember being stuck on that puzzle when I was a kid or whatever. I remember playing that game with my dad or like my mom helped me with that puzzle. Like, I think that's so
yeah.
fun to tap into.
Yeah, and Dan, the musician, like he volunteered to use the Roland MT32, the synth that was actually used back in the day, which is incredible. The
Yeah.
fact that he bought one off the internet and figured out how to integrate it with his current, modern setup, because it was really important to me that it looked like that time period. So that
Hmm.
60, particular 16 color palette But what Dan brought to it is it authentically sounds like that at
Yeah.
the
Oh
same
yeah.
time period because he used the same synth. That was so that they kind of combined to give this wonderful feeling where it feels really genuine. And sometimes I've watched people stream the game, and then people come into chat and they're saying, when did this? They don't know that it's something that just came out last week.
Yes.
They feel
Yes.
like it's probably been around forever.
Yeah, for sure. I had a couple people in chat be like, "Oh, what? I've never heard of this game." I'm like, "It just came out. It's not retro." How has it been watching people play the game? Because that's something that's so interesting. I feel like Sierra didn't have a chance to watch people
Yeah.
stream the game and experience the game, right? Maybe they had
Yeah.
helpline calls, but you're able to watch people in real time play the game. Like, how has that been?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing because first of all, yeah, I've been streaming for the past 4 years, so I've connected during that time with a lot of people in the retro Twitch streaming community, which been amazing. So basically what I've been seeing is like a lot of my friends that I've made online just playing and enjoying the game. That's been what an amazing experience just to see, like Macaw played it the other night, and
Hmm.
Tawegia played it, and Retrograde Tom played it, Fractal Mind Mike. So many people have played it on stream, which is so wonderful because they've been so excited about it and so supportive about it for years. That's been a pleasure,
Yeah.
as well as just even from sort of like a practical standpoint, it's really good to see people play it because there are definitely things I see people get stuck on in terms of the text parser being a little finicky or things that are a little bit confusing that I definitely want to improve on in like later updates. So that's also been super helpful.
Like game testing kind of in real time.
Yes, yeah,
That's
exactly,
so,
exactly.
because I don't know, how did they do it back? Like, was Colonel's Bequest, did they
Hmm.
have much game testers? Probably not in some of the early ones. I
Oh, they
think they
had
played it
QA for
internally.
sure. I mean, you probably internally, like you'd
Yeah,
hire people and stuff like that, but nothing beats having someone come in completely fresh and like not having any
right.
involvement with the project at all, and just coming in and just trying stuff because they have no context for what you just did. So they're the perfect people to try it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, especially with a text parser. Like, I can't imagine how much testing you would have to really test it internally back in the day to figure out what verbs kind of, or I mean, that's why people got stuck all the time because there
Yeah,
wasn't a
yeah,
lot of that.
exactly. Yeah.
Is there anything while watching that really surprised you of like, oh, I never would have thought someone would have tried to do something like that?
Yeah, that is interesting because yeah, like I said, I've been working on this game for years. So there's stuff that I put in the game that I don't remember that I put in the game, and when someone tries it, I get surprised. For instance, there is in the dining room there are these candles that sometimes they're lit, and you can try to blow the candles out. And I forgot that I
Oh,
programmed this, but it says it's not your birthday. So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I just little things like that, which it's been so fun to watch people play it and then try something, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, is that going to do something? And when it does something, I get excited too.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. I'm in chapter 4 now, so I haven't beaten the game yet, but we made quite a bit of progress last stream and got into some like, okay, there was a silly thing where this isn't even part of the game specifically, but we were in the shower of the game, and what did I even write? I can't even remember. Oh yeah, clean body, and then it was like, that's John's job, and then Chat was like, oh, that's so
Oh no.
yeah.
That's a generic response for clean anything,
Yeah, I
which it's
figured,
funny that
but
happens
it's
by
funny to
accident.
create this kind of lore.
Yes.
But I think that's the most interesting part, and I love text parsers. Text parsers are my favorite retro games to play. So I think when it came to developing a text parser, like, how did you choose where to be meticulous, like what language to use when designing
Mhm.
the game?
Yeah, that gets difficult because people have different ways of, phrasing things and different even words for certain items.
Mm-hmm.
And I always mention like the waste paper baskets in the game where
Mm-hmm.
regionally and geographically people call them very different things like dustbin and
Yeah,
trash and can and everything.
garbage.
Yeah, that's the one that has the most synonyms in the whole game probably
Oh
because
wow.
yeah, so that one, so stuff like that. Just again, watching people stream it has been super educational for me, and it's relatively easy to add synonyms into the game.
Oh okay.
So whenever anyone has a suggestion for that, I'm always like super open to it.
Oh, that's nice that it's easy to, because I mean
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest issues, I feel like, not issue but fun part, but also issue
Hmm.
of the older games.
Yeah.
Chat likes to remind me all the time that I got stuck for a really, 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 really long time because I kept typing "look at ground, look at ground, look
Hmm.
at ground, look at ground, instead of look at floor. And then later Sierra
Oh.
games were like, no, the ground is outside and the floor is
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
And
Oh.
I never thought, I say the ground, inside,
Yeah.
outside, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. It must have been kind of tricky to figure out where the balance is of how meticulous to be about language.
Yeah, it's super tricky, and I still haven't it's not perfected yet, and there's definitely some places where yeah, like I said, I wanna go back and with my updates and make the text parser a little bit more flexible for people because it tends to be like, yeah, people do tend to get stuck in the same places. But luckily, yeah, we're living in now a digital age where I don't have to mail everyone out patch discs, for
Right.
them to
Yeah.
like
Oh my God.
so it's easy enough to update it when I need to do it. It's just a matter of, like, getting down to it.
Yeah, I mean, so far I haven't gotten stuck on anything, so I think it's a huge improvement, and that seems to be something that turns people off of replaying some of the
Yeah.
old games is getting stuck on
Yeah.
language things. I
Yeah,
like it, but
Unfortunately for my game, which is another thing they couldn't do back in the day, is in the main menu, there's like an online hint book that you can consult. So if you're really super stuck, hopefully I'm hoping that this is the case, that the hint book will be able to actually just tell you exactly what you need to input to progress. If you're stuck, if you know what you need to do, but you're kind of stuck on the wording.
right, yeah, that makes sense. You didn't want to give people your home phone number to call you for hotline. Just charge $1 a minute and then
Exactly,
call you,
exactly. There,
Julia.
there, There is a donate button on there, so people do appreciate that the fact that it exists.
That's
There is
good.
one on there. But most importantly, what I wanted for people to do is I just wanted people to enjoy the story fully and not get too frustrated. I
Yeah.
want people. Yeah, I was really proud of what I got to do with it, and if people can finish it in whatever 7 to 10 hours or something, and they get that satisfaction, then that's great. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for sure. Your balance. I think there is a great balance in your game so far of the the challenge of and the feel of the Sierra games, but with still more fun than. Like I remember the LucasArts manuals being like, unlike those other games, like this is for fun. Because Sierra, I feel like, was very aggressive and didn't care as much. And not that Sierra doesn't care about having fun, but just they didn't care if they killed you a million times, right?
Hmm.
I've gotten killed a couple times in your game, which is very exciting. But you
Nice.
didn't focus on the like silly deaths. Was that like a
No.
purposeful choice of people having fun?
Absolutely. It's funny because although my game is very much reminiscent, like aesthetically and some of the design stuff as well of Sierra games, I actually enjoyed playing the LucasArts games more when I was a
Mm.
kid because of those deaths. I was terrified. I was terrified of the Colonel's Bequest. It was really scary. It was so easy to die, and
Yeah.
I did want to have some deaths in my game because they are fun. I've come around on it as an adult, and I know that they're fun little sequences. But I also didn't want them to be something you could get to accidentally too easily. Like, you kind of really have to work for them, or you get plenty of warning before they happen
Yeah,
for the
right,
most
right.
part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the first deaths I had was just from drinking too much, but I knew
Yes.
going into it that I was
Yes.
probably going to die because I had already done that in other games where I drank
Yes.
too much.
Yeah, I think you have to do that, like, 5 times or something, and there's,
Yeah.
like, a warning, and then it autosaves.
Oh my
So
God, the autosave is so nice. That's a very nice modern, like little things that, not little things, but things that you've added to make it a modern game,
Mhm,
like the notebook and
mhm,
autosaving. Like, how did you approach that? Of like, I want to make a retro inspired game, but I also want
mhm.
it to be better for players.
Yeah, and so this is another part of the benefits of actually being having streamed on Twitch, and also when I stream on Twitch, I don't only stream like in my game development, but I also tend to end the evening off with playing a retro adventure game. And I've been playing like retro EGA adventure games exclusively, which there's no shortage of, it seems. And what it's been really not only has it been entertaining for me, and also a chance for me to actually get around to playing games because a lot of game devs will tell you that they don't seem to have time to actually play games anymore.
Hmm.
But because I'm not streaming them, like, it at least gives me, like, 45 minutes or something per week where I'm actually sitting down and playing something. And playing the older stuff is just super educational because not only do I get to see how they handled doing EGA graphics, but also, like, every other aspect, like the game design and stuff like that. And, it's been super good because there's sometimes when there's things that, feel super difficult or challenging or kind of annoying, like annoying mechanics, that I say, well, I'm going to remind myself that I'm going to try to make sure to avoid those things or improve on these other things. So that's been a super helpful way to get to. remind myself of that stuff. As well, of course, from there's been many years since those games came out, and playing even something like Thimbleweed Park, where I got the idea to do a notebook from, because I really appreciated the notebook that was in
Hmm.
Thimbleweed Park, as well as other adventure games. Like everyone's kind of been like, improving on the designs over the years, and so I've also super taken advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it so amazing? You're now part of this club or group of modern game developers who love this I'm going to call them retro games, but like
Hmm.
these specific adventure game classics that have now like made it their passion project to make a new one, like Thimbleweed Park, like Monkey Island, like these. I think it's just because it's pretty niche, right? Like you approached it
Hmm.
knowing it was going to be a bit
Yeah.
niche, but I feel like it's so nice and heartwarming to be part of that kind of group of people, of game
Yeah,
developers.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did know going into this that it was gonna be super niche. Like, you don't see a lot of games coming out nowadays. Like, there's adventure games coming out, which is already a niche, but you don't see a lot of adventure games coming out nowadays that use this color palette, the EGA color palette.
Hmm.
And especially you don't see a lot of games coming out, adventure games nowadays coming out using a text parser interface
Yeah,
either.
for sure.
Which, yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of reasons why that is. I mean, part of it is like you can't really play this on a console, although I've heard good things about people playing it on Steam Deck.
I saw that.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, also things like there's the text parser can be difficult to localize. There's actually a lot of writing in the game too. Yeah, a lot of reasons why it wouldn't make sense if you're trying to reach like the broadest possible audience to do something like this. And I did know that going in, but I made it this way because yeah, it's kind of we haven't seen this very often nowadays for
For sure.
those reasons.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is the people who are into that type of thing and know they haven't seen something like this come out very much nowadays are super excited about it. They've been very, very positive.
Yeah. I mean, I am so excited that it's a text parser because there are a few point and clicks that have come out in recent years and continue to be point and clicks that are coming out. I'm wish listing them all over the place on Steam, inspired by the old point and clicks. But text parsers, yeah,
Hmm.
not as many for sure. So I'm glad you went
Yeah.
that route selfishly. I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Thank you.
Can
It's
you?
also
Oh,
really
go
been
ahead.
it's also been really cool to watch, like, younger streamers as well, like, people who've never
Mm-hmm.
played text person adventure games, like, super really enjoy it too. That's been I was kind of hoping that that would happen, and seeing a little bit of that happening is really nice too.
Yeah, that's me. I love to hear that. I love that
Mhm,
new because I mean, I personally didn't play them in the 80s and 90s as
mhm.
much. My brothers played them and then I got into them recently with streaming and stuff. But it's so nice. I hope that it continue. I hope that new players keep joining the genre.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a favorite what's your favorite text parser, let's say? Or one
Good
of your favorites? I
question.
know there's so many.
Good question. I might actually have to see because if people usually ask me what my favorite adventure game is, and I already know what that one is, which is Secret of Monkey Island, because if the EGA version of Secret of Monkey Island is my favorite adventure game because it's gorgeous EGA graphics, game design, humor, all that stuff. But I don't know if anyone's actually asked me what my favorite text parser game is. But you know what? At first, I would have to say probably it would have to be like maybe Quest for Glory 1 or Quest for Glory 2,
Hmm.
because the art is incredible and then they're epic adventures. I love the multiple ways of solving puzzles in those games because you play, different classes. You're either like a fighter,
Yeah.
like a wizard, or a magic user, or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thief. Um, yeah, I think if I had to say my favorite text person game, it would probably be. Oh, it's hard to say between Quest for Glory 1 and Quest for Glory
They're both
2.
good. They're so
They're
good.
both so beautiful and well done. And yeah, I'd have to say maybe a tie for those two.
I didn't realize going into the Crimson Diamond that there were going to be different ways to solve puzzles,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
multiple choice things. I think I gave Albert almonds instead of annoying him with conversation.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I heard one of my testers mention that. And so yeah, these testers I have, they're finding stuff that they didn't even notice. And one of my other testers said, "Oh, I didn't know there was a conversation I missed in chapter 1." And this person has tested a lot. It's
Wow.
kind of amazing to see that when
Yeah.
people like this is stuff that people are missing after all this time.
Did you know going into it that you wanted there to be multiple ways to solve things?
Yes, because the one of the issues that people tend to have with adventure games is limited replayability. And I tried to solve that in a few different ways. One of the ways was, yeah, I wanted it to feel like you had a lot of freedom in the game, and what that meant is I did want there to be multiple approaches to certain puzzles, like not every puzzle, but certain puzzles where I felt like it made sense. that it should work that other way. Or
Yeah.
sometimes when it was funny, like offering Albert the almonds, which like I totally that's another thing where I just literally completely forgot I did that until like yesterday or today when one of my testers said, "Oh, I just realized that you could do that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot that." So in that aspect, I wanted to encourage a bit of replayability. So if you're watching someone play and you're like, "Oh, that's not how I did that," so that's also
Hmm.
super nice. But also other ways that I wanted to encourage replayability is I mentioned that there's that notebook that does your objective tracking, which tells you how to progress the game. But there are lots of things you can miss if you just stick with the notebook. Like there's a lot of conversations you can miss and sequences you can
Hmm.
miss, which can help you figure out what kind of ending you're going to have. Additionally, there are some different endings depending on certain decisions that you make or certain things that you've observed, and those are kind of the main ways that I try to encourage people to want to replay the game. And judging from the reviews, it just seemed like people are super eager to get back in for like a second playthrough,
Yeah,
which is
I mean,
nice.
I think that's a really good point that I get so frustrated when I'm like, I know this is supposed to work. It makes logical sense that I can solve the puzzle
Mhm.
this way. Like, how
Mhm.
dare you, Roberta?
Yeah.
So it's really nice that you considered that, and you really seem to make an effort to not allow the player to get super frustrated.
Yeah, which goes back again to, having the notebook, and there's something you can type in a review at any time, and
Right,
it's gonna tell
yes.
you, like, what your next objective is supposed to be. The online hint book, I knew going into it that, yeah, text parser is the difficulty curve is, pretty drastic, especially if you're not used to that, which is another reason why I have, the tutorial room that is kind of gonna
Hmm.
show you the ropes on how to use the game. I knew it's a difficult interface to work with, but I ultimately feel like it's a super rewarding and very immersive interface to use.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think the other way that you did it to encourage people to do things in different ways is not including the use verb. So, what
Mhm.
went behind your thought process of not having the player be able to use the word
Right.
use?
Yes, that one is a little bit divisive for sure. From some of the reviews I've read, people do feel like they should be able to use, but other people feel like they're in the same camp as me, where I say that it's kind of a catch-all verb that doesn't allow or it doesn't require additional thought into specifically what
Creativity.
you're doing, which would mean like all my parser commands would also you could just use with them, and
Hmm.
I prefer people to have to do that extra bit of thinking, and your mileage may vary, of course, from player to player. But yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I was just talking to Dan about it just before we even got onto this today. Where I'm like, yeah, we're going to stick with it. Same with the ambient noise and the wall to wall music. It's just we're probably just going to stick with how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the lack of the word use. Of course, it trips me up sometimes because I'm so
Yeah.
used to just typing use, 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 use.
Hmm.
But from me and chat, I've been talking to chat about it, and it seems to really encourage us to be creative and try to come up with new words that we wouldn't necessarily use.
Which reminds me, did you ever use the water pump outside the garden shed?
No, not yeah. At least I don't think so. No.
Because people, they try to use pump and they don't know how to activate the pump. And there's a few different ways, but people have been really enjoying how the most standard way to approach that particular it's not even a puzzle, it's not even completely necessary, it's just another way to do something.
Hmm.
um but I don't know, do you want me to tell you what the command just to see
Sure.
how
Yeah. Well,
awkward?
I'd love to find out.
Pump.
Pump, pump. Okay. Okay, makes sense. I think there was something else too in my last playthrough too, where I was typing and it just didn't make any grammatical, like it didn't sound grammatically correct. But you sometimes have to go that route.
Yeah, another thing that is so great about text parser is that the systems are kind of totally they're hidden. You don't have dialogue trees, so you don't know what you can ask people. You have to learn what you can ask people, and I love that part of them as well.
Right. I mean,
Um,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
it, and you don't know what interactions you can do with anything, which again, it can be difficult, but also hopefully gives you that feeling of, oh, I can do anything.
It's the world is your oyster, right? It's even if it's a facade, like it lets
Hmm.
you believe that you can do anything. I can type anything.
Yeah,
I can,
yeah.
yeah. And sometimes when I'm playing old games, I feel like I have to be so specific. Chat's like, you're overthinking it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. What do I do if I'm overthinking something? And you type so much to be so
Yes.
specific.
It's so funny. I was watching Pushing Up Roses play the game last week, and she was having the hardest time trying to do something, and it's because she was saying that she's so she was brought up on Sierra Adventures where it was super convoluted, and it was actually a very straightforward action that she needed to perform, but she had completely had overthought what she needed
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
so, I mean, it must have been hard to design a game. How did you approach designing the game and trying to balance that? Oh, if the player's going to underthink this or overthink this, like how I get so frustrated when I'm overthinking something and the answer is just find the mailbox or whatever. I don't know.
Yes. I tried to design the game to be, it's not a simple game necessarily, but I tried to make it as simple as possible. So when people get tripped up with something that is they're kind of super overthinking it, I I kind of think it's I kind of think it's not my fault. I think it's because of the way that they were raised by Sierra, I think is part of it. But it's kind of funny to think about just the approach of it and how I kind of didn't anticipate certain approaches because chapter 1 is supposed to be like super simple and straightforward, and it's supposed to be kind of like an extension of the tutorial where it's going to just show you the ropes, and all you need to do is like explore the lodge and talk to the characters, and that's it. That's the first section of chapter 1. That's all you're supposed to do. And I forgot that adventure game people who play adventure games are going to go through every room meticulously with a fine-tooth comb. The first section of the chapter is going to take them 3 hours to play, and then the rest of it
I don't
goes
know
much
who you're
faster because
talking
they've
about.
already yeah, and so that's the thing where people say, they'll say in the reviews like, "Oh, this game started off slow," right? And it's just like what's
That's the
happened is that
player's choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are playing it this way so that it just kind of did, and I totally should have like foreseen that when I was making it.
It's hilarious to imagine like a character, like if you were thinking of it as a movie, the character is
Mhm.
supposed to arrive and like talk to people, and then that's
Mhm.
all good, just explore, and then the
Mhm.
adventure player is like in the fireplace collecting soot
Yeah.
and like
Yes,
putting it in her
exactly.
pocket. Like I don't know
Exactly.
why are they doing that? We just are we're raised by the trauma that Sierra
Yes.
has imposed on us. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's just past experiences. When I first played King's
Yes.
Quest, I wasn't doing any of that, but you learn
Yes.
to do that.
And I will say that as long as people are having fun with it, like totally, however you want to play it, please do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of an adventure game, right? Is
Mhm.
to be on an adventure. But speaking of Sierra trauma, let's say, can you talk a little bit, because I saw that Roberta Williams wrote a review or reviewed the game.
Yes.
Like, have you
Yeah.
met Roberta? What was that like?
That was incredible. um, I met her last month in Tacoma, Washington, for something called the Adventure Game Hotspot Fan Fair. And it was the first time that they'd ever run this event. It was the first adventure game focused conference in North America, which is incredibly significant, considering especially that LucasArts and Sierra both are American companies. We didn't really have anything like that around. And Adventure Game Hotspot was wonderful. They actually sponsored me to attend the event, which is
Wow.
lovely. I was on 2 panels, and I actually there was an awards night where I got to induct Roberta Williams and Mystery House into the Adventure Game Hall of Fame,
Oh my gosh.
which I nearly started bursting out crying like as I was doing it because I didn't know that she was actually going to come up and accept an award that I was going to give her on stage.
Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
that was like completely it's
That's
just
mind
very
boggling.
mind-boggling like full circle moment of just saying I got to chat with her a little bit
Yeah.
during the event and different times, and then I sent her a key and she checked out the demo a little bit and she wrote me the blurb and she was so supportive of what I
That's
was
so
doing.
nice.
It's just kind of hard not to like get kind of emotional about it
Yeah. Oh my god.
because I wouldn't have done this without what she had done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such an inspiration that people that she made the games, that she did so much for Sierra and created Sierra and all the adventure games that we play
Hmm.
still so many years later, and that she's still invested in
Yeah.
future adventure
Yeah.
gamers and games
Yeah.
is incredible. I do think I have a bit of feedback. I think you know how in some of the old Roberta games she puts her face on the screen when you
Yes.
die. I think you need to put your face on the screen.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. I actually do have like my profile pic and like all my social media is like an EGA portrait of
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
So it'd be super easy to actually
I
do
feel like
that.
it's so because she seems like such a nice lady, but I
Yes, she
every time
is.
I die, I just it's like her face, like be more careful, idiot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just love that like passive aggressiveness. So I think if you make a sequel, you need to
Mm.
put your face every time they die.
Mm.
Just be like, I told you. Next time, be more careful. Like, what do you want
Be
from
more
me?
careful. Mhm.
That's so cool that you got to meet with her. I mean, I've been chatting your ear off here. I guess I just wanted to ask one more question about if
Sure.
there's anything in the game that you put in just for you that like we might not have realized.
Wow. Okay, let's see. There's a lot that I put in over time, but I guess the one that first comes to my mind is there is a painting in one of the rooms in the room that Corvus and Jack are sharing, which is this there's a tuxedo cat. There's a painting of a black and white cat
Mm-hmm.
above like the right hand bed, and that was our last family cat, Dido Cat.
Oh,
And people who've been coming to my stream know about Dido Cat. Dido Cat was like the sweetest little tuxedo cat, and she has gotten to live on not only in the game but that exact pixel art. I used it. I used well a slightly more upres version of it. I made a cross stitch of it. My mom, my lovely, wonderful mom, she made a patchwork quilt of the exact same pixel
oh,
art, and she actually makes an appearance in another game from one of my adventure game developer friends, Inspector Waffles. She is a wool ball card. So there's like some collectibles in that game. There's like wool ball, which is kind of like basketball, and there's like these little wool ball card characters. And yeah, and invited me to like years ago to do one for him, and so I did. So she actually lives on in a couple different places.
that's
So
so
that was kind of one
sweet.
of those
That's
things
super
for me.
sweet. I'm
Yeah,
glad to find that out because I think someone from chat was wondering what the paintings in the game, what their meaning
yeah,
was, or if they
yeah.
had.
Most of them are real paintings or posters. I love Art Nouveau art, and that I put I had every opportunity. Not everything, but most of the paintings and posters in the lodge are based on actual artworks. So there's an Alphonse Mucha tobacco ad in the upstairs pink bathroom. There's a few absinthe ads that if you just Google like Art Nouveau absinthe poster, you'll probably find exactly the ones that I refer to. And as well, I included a couple paintings by Group of Seven painters. And the Group of
Okay.
Seven, I mean, you probably know this, Nalvara,
Yeah.
that they were a group of Canadian painters from around that era. And there's one at the end of the hall in the upstairs hallway that is by Lauren Harris, which is an actual painting that he did. And there's one in the parlor that's by A.Y. Jackson.
Wow. I mean, it makes more sense now knowing that you approached it originally as an illustrator. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to think of one of the things that the Group of Seven did was they'd actually would travel up north. They do like plein air painting, which is like, they'd paint in front of actual wilderness. And I'd like to think that they might have, taken a trip up to Crimson at some point.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, there's a lot. Speaking of that kind of era, there's a lot of knowledge on obviously geology in the game. Is that something you really had to? Is that like a hobby of yours or something you studied for the game?
It was an interest that I've always had a bit of an interest in like geology and mineralogy. But yeah, doing the research for this game actually has enhanced my appreciation and my enthusiasm for that hobby, and to the point of last year, I went to something called the Bancroft Jamboree, which has been around for like 50 plus years. My parents took me and my sister when we were kids, like way back when. And I revisited it for the first time last year, and it was fantastic. I bought a bunch of different specimens. I went on like a rock hounding tour. There's an
Wow.
area nearby that is known for its fluorite, which is this beautiful purple rock
Mm-hmm.
mineral. And I dug up some fluorite, and I had a wonderful time. Yeah, it has made me
That's so
buy
cool.
like more rocks and like add to my rock collection. But even going to the lakeshore, Lake Ontario's lakeshore, and just picking up the rocks that I think are really cool.
That's so fun. I mean, it's nice to meld these two like kind of
Yeah,
big interests into
yeah.
your game. And that's probably a cool part about being a single developer that you can do whatever you want or not. You know.
Yes, I can doing whatever I want okay. It's kind of a double-edged sword, of course, because you get to do whatever you want, but then you have to do everything at the same
Yeah.
time,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
which can be a bit, overwhelming. But overall, I do like the fact that I've gotten to put all these little details in the game that don't necessarily contribute to finishing the game, but it's just stuff that adds to the setting, like being able to sit in most of the rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah, like my own hobbies and interests, and even being able to express myself not just visually, but through the story and the game design and the puzzles and all those things. It's been incredibly satisfying to be able to express myself in all those ways and then have people appreciate it.
I love that. It's. I feel like we're learning about you a little bit as we play
It's
this
all
game.
me. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this thing is incredibly, personal. Like the people say that you shouldn't, take it personally or whatever. And it's very hard not to do that when you've been spending like more than 6 years on something that you've completely done, except for the music, of course, you've completely done.
Mm.
But Yeah, I mean, when people have constructive criticism, I definitely take it on board. Part of what was so valuable about going to school for illustration is that you learn how to take criticism,
Right.
constructive criticism, and take it on board or decide whether you want to incorporate it or not. And so that's not a problem. So if people, anyone who's watching this, if you have something that you think could improve the game, like yeah, definitely like reach out at the on the feedback email address on my website. And it's not like it's gonna like hurt my feelings unless you're mean about it. Um, I'm still very focused on making the game better, and there's a lot of different ways I can do that, based on a lot of the wonderful feedback I've been getting.
That's awesome. Good to know for sure. And of course, anybody playing the game who enjoys it, write a Steam review.
Yes, please.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
I think the only other question that we had, I'll end with a final question from chat, which is what was your around your decision making to have a point system or not to have a point system?
Yeah, that is something I decided on like pretty late in the game. Part of the reason there are like hidden points, like you see like these pop-ups and these
Yep.
chimes that go on when you do things. And there is a hidden point system that does count stuff. That does exist in the background, but I didn't really want people to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Near the, I mean, you haven't gotten to the end, so I don't want to spoil it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But there is ways that the game evaluates you at the end that I think are more important than the just focusing on a points number.
Mm-hmm. That makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and in which case, I wanted to encourage people to learn more about what's going on and learn more about the characters versus being super focused on the points. And also, the points system is a little bit sloppy right now, where I will go through my walkthrough that I have and try to tot up the points, and it's like a different number almost every time. I'm like, this is a mess. I'm not going to
Yeah.
expose people to
It's
this because
not
it's
worth
not
it.
it's not perfect. Yeah, and the thing is because there are different things you can do in different stages of the game or stuff you can do all throughout the game. So I can't even count it from chapter to chapter because people are doing stuff in chapter one that you don't really need until like chapter two or three or later.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets really complicated. In which case, it just
Yeah.
was easier and for clarity purposes not to include that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I think especially when you've included things for speedrunning too, right? Like you made
Yes.
certain choices so that people can speedrun the game. It's probably better not to have a point system to worry about as well.
Yeah, what happens sometimes with the game, and I think speedrunners already figured this out, is that some of the like more extended animated sequences, even if it's something of like Nancy climbing up the ladder or something, you can press escape to just, you know, advance that without having to watch the whole animation. I didn't do that for every animation, and I do feel like that's something I would have liked to have done. But for a lot of the ones that if you have to watch the same sequence again, I just do want people to be able to get through it pretty quickly. So pressing escape for some of those sequences will, skip ahead, kind of
Little
thing.
like keyboard shortcuts as well.
Oh yeah, and the keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, that's also something. It started out pretty early, but then there was a movement keyboard shortcut that I put in later in the game for like you can go WW and then space, W for west or east or north or south, and she will go in those directions.
Hmm.
Um, and part of the reason I did that was, yeah, some people, it can sometimes be really finicky to try to get out of a doorway or something,
Yeah.
and I wanted to kind of help people with that if that's an issue that they're having.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. And I hope lots of people speedrun the game and make it a thing for you. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. Well, I mean, thank you so much. And if there's anything else you wanted to share with everyone, you're welcome to. But I really appreciate
Um,
you coming on and chatting with us, right, chat? It was great. I'm so
aw.
excited. I mean, I have to kind of end the chat so that I can go play the game and beat the game.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I guess all I can really say is, yeah, thank you. The launch has been wonderful so far. So thank you so much to everyone who has bought the game. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the game. It is available on Steam. It's also available on itch.io. It's going to be available on something called Fireflower Games soon. I'm working on getting it on GOG. I know that's what people have been asking. But yeah, it's just a matter of I need to like check in with them to see what the status for that one is. That's something we're working on right now. Yeah, it's been wonderful to just have it out now, and I've been kind of keeping so much of the details of it kind of under my hat, everything from chapter 2 to 7. It's really nice to watch people get to the end and roll those credits, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I can't wait. And I think
yeah,
it's really a good opportunity for people, if they're able to support a game like this,
mm,
to encourage, more adventure games to live on, this like genre to live on. Like we said, it's a bit
yeah,
niche, especially text parsers. So
hmm
I think if people are able to support the game on Steam, it goes a long way to encourage this
yeah.
genre to continue.
Yeah, yeah, and I did self-publish this game, and I do have sequel plans. I have notes for a sequel.
Hmm.
I've got, like, a working title, and I know basically what I want to do with it, and I would love to be able to self-publish the next one,
Wonderful.
so I can have that same control that I had with this one. I had all
Yeah.
the control about when
Yeah.
I wanted to launch it, being able to sit in the lodge, all these things I was able to completely dictate on my own terms, and, ideally, I would be able to take whatever happens with this game, bring it forward to a sequel where I can dedicate myself full time to making it.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
I hope that too, and I hope I really want to see more games like this continue, and I love it so far. So I
Oh, thank
really
you.
hope that we can make that happen, or the community makes it happen for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, I'll let you go, but
Okay.
thank you so much for chatting with us
Yeah. Thank
today.
you, Novara. Like, honestly, stuff like this is also so great.
Oh, my
People like you
pleasure.
who are supporting and boosting like indie game developers. So thank you so much for doing this. This has
I
been
love it.
like really
It's
cool.
perfect for it melds two things I love: indie games and retro classics. And so how and text parsers. Oh my goodness, how could I
So
say no?
glad.
It's perfect. It's a match made in heaven, and Canadian too. So
Yes, of
win-win.
course. Yeah. How could we forget?
Yes, of course. Okay. Take it easy, and good luck with the
Yeah.
rest of the launch.
Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Ah. Hello, chat. It's just me now. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can we just get another shout out for Julia's Twitch channel in the chat so that everybody knows you can follow Julia on Twitch as well? Fellow Twitch streamer, fellow Canadian. I'm not a game developer, so I can't say fellow game developer, but fellow retro game lover. There's her Twitch username in the chat. I was gonna pull up the game while we were chatting, but it was too exciting. So I have the game open, but I didn't pull it up because there was too much to talk about. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh my god, that emote! Everybody has to subscribe and get that emote. So good. One of the other 8 Canadians on Earth. Yeah, there's just 8 of us. Oh, thanks. You enjoyed. Oh, let me turn on the alerts again. Thank you. Thanks for gifting that sub to Julia. Thanks so much. Oh my goodness, those emotes. I love them. I love when people pop in and have the old Sierra things and new Crimson Diamond things in the emotes in the chat. Great interview. Thanks, Pimsel. Thanks, Everlamps. Thanks, Daxon. Pump. I'm gonna go into the game right now and pump the pump. That's what I want to do. That's what I've taken from this. I have to go pump the pump. I swear last stream we were doing something that was like de-ice ice. I was trying to solve something in a funny way. Better than when I type. Our chat always gets so mad when I type things so meticulously in the old Sierra games where I'm like, pick up rock and then put rock in hole and also rub dirt on it. Like I write long essays. The English major in me, and then chat's like, no, don't stop that. Simple language. And that's where I get a lot of, you're overthinking it. I can't underthink. My brain is too powerful. I think today we should also work on finding all the deaths. I want to die in every way possible. Because I think instead of a point system, we have Steam achievements too, which is it's like obviously Sierra didn't have Steam achievements. So it goes a long way to give us some guidance if we do want to 100% the game. Drink. Play, game. Hi, today's pumpkin spice latte day. Oh my god, I did see that pumpkin spice lattes are back now. Yeah, can we get some congrats in the chat to Maple Mystery? I know it's fall already, apparently. It's not even September yet, and we're already talking about pumpkin spice lattes. Yay! Yay! This is wonderful. I'm so excited. So we're in chapter 4, so I'm really just I think I'm gonna have to just jump jump into it. See, like I had the game all set up here, but we didn't even... Oh, see, it's not even on the screen. I did have it set up, but I was gonna put it on during the interview, but it's too exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed our chat. Summer, I barely knew her. I know. How are we already talking about pumpkin spice lattes? That seems illegal. You're under arrest, chat. Except for I really like pumpkin spice lattes, so I can't be that mad. Oh, Fixer Bug, good luck. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here. I go bug fix. Oh, I'm glad, Kamillian. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. Pumpkin hard cider. I've never had that before, but yeah, it sounds pretty great. The tree outside my apartment definitely thinks it's fall. The leaves have turned yellow. Darkman. What the heck? That's impossible. It's gonna be like 30 degrees out next week. How can the leaves be falling? I think they're getting antsy. No questions about VR. No, I didn't ask about VR implementation. I don't think we need to text parse in VR, although some people are playing the game on Steam Deck and have reported some positive experiences on the Steam Deck. I also didn't talk about the numpad, because no one needs a numpad. That's if I ever talk to Roberta, I'll say, how do you feel about a numpad? Okay, enough time. Oh man. Do I have any coffee left before we start? Roberta's making a VR game? Oh man, she's cooler than I am though. She's cooler than I am. Okie dokie, let me see if I can get the game on the screen. I have to reload my save file, which I labeled I'm thrilled, because at the end of last stream, I was thrilled. I was filled with thrillingness. Now I can say things because I didn't want to spoil anything during our chat in case there were people who hadn't gotten to chapter 4 yet. But the whole game, chapter 1, 2, 3, I was calling for murder. There's gonna be a murder. There's gonna be a murder. There's gonna be a murder. And then finally, it has occurred. So that's really exciting to me. How come the game's not here? Why are you doing this to me, game? I'm just gonna close it and open it. I didn't ask about numpad because no one needs to know anything about numpads. It's only me who doesn't like numpads. Other people like numpads. Thanks, TJ. Yeah, time flew by. I know. I said it would be 30 minutes and then time flew by. That's why I could have kept talking and talking. I'm a talker. Here we go. Okay. This is the same. Am I in the wrong scene? Let me go over here. Who am I right now? I feel like my scenes are all different. I think I understand. I think this is right. I think this is where we left off. And this is my face. And this is the game. And alerts are back on and everything's good. Hi, Lady of Crows. Hello. If two murders if you count murder the player. Fair. Fair. But thanks so much, TJ. Thanks. That was so fun. I'm so happy that we did it. It was wonderful. Thanks to everybody who watched and supported. What did you miss? We just talked to the developer, the game creator of the Crimson Diamond. So that's what you missed. A fun interview with the wonderful person, Julia, who made this game. Thanks, Infinity. Thanks. Thanks, everyone who was here for this fun first time bucket list thing. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off my music now because we don't need peaceful music. We need intense, thrilling music. I was too slow, very sus. I'm thrilled. So where we left off on Tuesday is, oh my god, there's been a murder, and and we're in chapter 4 now. Margot has been murderfied, and there are a few suspects. There are many. I think everybody's a suspect. I actually think that there's 2 potential murders. I think she was being murdered twice. The obvious choice are these suspicious guys who are doing weird suspicious things with the river. but I think there were multiple people trying. I think Jack was trying to murder her. I think the lady was trying to murder her. I think two people were trying to poison her at the same time. It's a trick. They make you want to think there's only one murderer, but there's actually two. That's my thought. What is in the river there? Look at river. Let's see. Even from here, you can feel the chill of the racing water. Oh, let me turn up the game volume. What is that? I feel like we looked at... Oh, I better not fall in the river. I already fell in the river last time. What if I look at the rocks? Even from here, you can see that the mist from the waterfall has made the moss wet and slippery. Don't want to die. What is that? Is that a cup or something? Look at shining spot. I don't think that's gonna work. Now I've got her murdered and already wants the second one. Yeah, I really just expect everybody to drop dead except for like me and one other person. Let me just look. Mossy rocks that look slippery. You see something bobbing in the rushing water caught amongst some rocks. I think it looks like a glass jar. Let's look at the glass jar. There's a glass jar bobbing in the furiously churning water. You can just barely make out a flash of yellow inside the jar. I'm getting all the jingles. I don't think I can reach the jar. I need to find a safe way to get closer. How do you do that without perishing? Oh no, I perished! I just clicked a tiny amount. I just walked towards the rocks. Very little bit, just a little. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Okay, fine. Don't die. And I didn't grab the jar. No, I did not. Look at jar. Wait, I got 2 jingles last time. Look at rocks. Look. 2 jingles. I want, even though there's no points, I still want both my jingles, and then I'm gonna save the game. 2 jingles. How does one get it? Do I have like a stick? I have rope. Oh, you know, classic tie yourself to the tree situation. Use rope. Oh, no, you can't tie rope on tree. That achieves a little effect. Yeah. See, if you could just use the word use, everything would be way too simple. Tie rope. Where would you like to tie this rope? Tie rope to rock. Tie rope to body. Oops, not boy. Body. Tie rope to tree. Did I say that already? I don't know. You tie the rope around the tree. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Tie rope to waist. I really didn't think the word waist would work because that's definitely the kind of word that wouldn't work back in the olden times. You tie the loose end of the rope around your waist. I'm not walking around with this rope tied around me. What do you mean? Just jump in the river. Jump in river. Get jar. I'm fine. This is a foolproof plan. Nothing bad has ever happened to me involving rocks and rivers. I can't believe this is working. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it's foolproof. Yay! Yay! What is it? Look at the jar. The jar you retrieved from the raging river. Inside is a damp strip of flypaper. This looks like one of Jack's jam jars. Wait a hot darn minute. So there are a few facts. Fact. Flypaper has arsenic. Fact. Margot was poisoned. Fact. Jack is in charge of the flypaper. Fact. Jack has jars. Fact. The lady said... Did the lady admit to poisoning her? Did she? I feel like she did, didn't she? When we eavesdropped or whatever. She was like, yeah, I poisoned you. I'm a murderer. And so the game wants you to think that it's the lady who did it, even though it's Jack's jar. Maybe they're in cahoots. What's the lady's name? I have to stop calling her the lady. I forget her name. She said she used the flypaper in the water until it dissolved off. Yeah. Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica. It's Jack's job to clean your body. Yeah. Yeah, so I forget her name. Anyways, she admitted to poisoning with the thing. Look. Let's look at our little thing. Closer inspection reveals a white powder residue at the bottom of the jar, a strip of damp flypaper inside the jar, and a small oily spot on the outside of the jar. Get oiled. Apply soot to jar. You brush some soot onto the surface of the jam jar. You reveal a distinct fingerprint. Collect fingerprint. Collect fingerprint from jar. You're already carrying the jam jar that has the fingerprint on it. There's no need to lift it from the jam jar for safekeeping. Okay. So, I mean, you revealed a fingerprint on the outside of the glass jar. Compare fingerprints? Comparing what you've obtained to the fingerprints in your complete collection, you are able to conclude the following. Aha! The fingerprint on the glass jar belongs to Nessa. Her name's Nessa. She is a murderess. We knew that already, though. That's not news. What would be news is if we found out Jack's in cahoots. Cahoots. I say cahoots very specifically. So now we have proof. That's true in a court of law. Untie rope. I wasn't thinking about proof. I was just hoping people would take my word for it. Take the rope. Murderess. In your enthusiasm to secure the rope to the tree, you created a series of utterly undoable knots. Oh, okay. No more rope. That's good. I kind of like when the game takes the inventory item out of my inventory when I'm done with it. Because in Monkey Island, I had like 52 items, and it drove me crazy. Uh-oh. Mr. Richards? Is he eating? Doesn't that look like the jar with flypaper? It's like he's eating a jar full of flypaper. Is he dying? Evan doesn't acknowledge your presence. He looks lost in thought, or maybe highly inebriated, possibly both. Well done. Well done. I'm gonna save inebriated. Let's just enjoy this music for a minute here. What is he? Evan is quietly, morosely drunk and sits precariously on the edge of a jetty. Look at his jar. His jar? What is that on the... What is he doing? I better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. He better be careful. Is he about to die? Oh god. Mr. Richards, what are you doing here? Mr. Richards ignores you and continues drinking. Look at his drink. Look at drink. Get drink. Drunk. Okay, talk to man again. He's ignoring me. Sit down. Sit next to him. He's drunk and he doesn't want me to be drunk with him. What if I swap the jars and then I'm the murderer? Sit on dock. Are you sure you don't want to talk to me? He ignores me. I like the music, though. Well, what am I supposed to do if he doesn't want to talk to me? I just tickle his head. Shake him. Oh, tell him about Nessa. You and your sister are so different. I take that as a compliment. Tell him Nessa is a murderer. Show him fingerprints. Show fingerprint. Show jar. Show him jar. Give him jar. Yeah, sure, Chameleon. Alright. Well. Give him your hat. Did you ever examine the murdered lady's body? I think we went back and did, didn't we? I thought we went back at the end of the stream and did... What did we accomplish? we maybe found out she was, like, confirmed she was poisoned? I forget. What were, I think we did. I know we got sidetracked, but then I'm pretty sure we went back at the end of the stream. What were we supposed to do? And I can remember if we did. He's just ignoring me, so, like, I guess... I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. Anyone asked Julia if the fingerprints is a nod to Colonel Bequest copy protection? Oh, I didn't ask that. But she streams every week, so maybe you'll have to ask her in her chat. But yeah, that's a good point. I hear rumbling in the distance. Is that thunder? Ah, it sounds like an automobile heading towards the carriage house. Is Jack back from the train station? Maybe I should head over there and see what's going on. Or I could head to the lodge and see what's going on there. And then there's this. There's like, it's very suspicious in here. This is evidence, but I don't know how to collect the evidence yet. I can go back and see if I can investigate the body still. Oh my god, chat! It's our chance! I have to pump the pump. Pump, pump. Yeah! Woo! I did it. I did it. Where is... Wait, is that like a phone ringing? I could... Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure... Let's just double check that we examined. Because I forget. You determinedly decide to take a closer look at Margot's body. Type exit or click the exit button to stop your examination. Pull away the sheet covering Margot. Your desire to understand what happened outweighs your squeamishness. Despite Margot's panicked final moments, she now appears peaceful. I don't think I examined her. I think I went back and looked at her, but I didn't examine. Look at her hair. Examine hair. You're surprised to find that Margot's impeccably coiffed hair is hiding some thinning areas and a few bald patches. Oops. Examine face. Examine body. Her bathrobe in 2 pockets and a matching sash. Her hair glistens even in the low light of the root cellar. And her lips and skin, while still lovely, are starting to take on less than lovely hues. Examine pocket. You find a small silver key in one of Margot's pockets. Oh, snap. Examine robe. I think we already... There's still a small silver key in one of Margot's pockets. Another one? Get key. I wonder what this opens. Oh, snap. Okay, no, it's just the one key, I think. There's only one key. I already have the vanity key. Oh, spoilers! I wonder what this opens. And then the game told me. Examine sash. Close examination doesn't reveal much about the sash. It is of the same fine make as the rest of the bathrobe. Examine face again. Examine hair. Look at body. Sash, blue robe, 2 pockets on the front. Golden hair. And her arms. Examine arms. Intense scrutiny of Margot's skin reveals no bruises or abrasions, but you do find some rough, scaly areas on her hands and feet, darkened areas and red, patchy lesions on her lower legs. I wonder if these skin problems have something to do with her aches and pains. Examine mouth. No additional information, but having drawn closer to her mouth to get a closer look, you do detect an unusual odor emanating from it. Flypaper odor. This is a really cool addition to the game, yeah. Examine eyes. What would I do if I couldn't close them again? Yeah, that'd be weird. Examine hands. I think we did this already. Alright. We feeling good about this now? Examine neck. Darkened rough patches. That's odd. Her neck is covered by her hair. It wouldn't have been exposed to much sunlight. So this probably isn't sun damage. It's free of bruises and scratches. She wasn't clawing or grasping at her own neck. That may indicate she didn't die of asphyxiation. I think she died of arsenic poisoning. Let me just change the title of the stream. I forgot. Continuing. Because we're not chatting anymore. The chat's over. No more chatting. And then let me just turn this off here. Hi, Gabriel Knight. I'm not robbing the bodies as much as searching them, examining them, looking at them. Okay, the game is giving me a choice of, you see these things on the ground? Look at the ground. There's some strange puddles of liquid glistening in the moonlight. Look at puddles. The trail of small puddles seems to lead further south. It's just this guy, though. Look at puddles. There's some sort of liquid splashed onto the jetty. I wonder what this could be. Collect sample. Collect puddle. Get puddle. I don't know if I can like put some in my jar or something. Liquid. Look at jetty. There's liquid splashed haphazardly on the jetty and the path leading up to it. The source of the liquid appears to be Mr. Richards. Uh-oh, wait. What? Is he's just drunk? And like dripping whiskey or something? Or is he leaking? She doesn't seem to know what it is. Smell liquid. I didn't think she would do it. The liquid here is yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even in the moonlight, you can see that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. Oh my god, thank god. Okay, it is whiskey. I thought it might be something weird. What a waste. The liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol and not river water. Nice. Okay, whew. Look at his alcohol. Okay, can I take his alcohol? Can I drink his alcohol? No. Okay, bye! I think he's just, like, getting drunk. Now, do I go to the carriage house or do I go to the lodge? So many options. I think the carriage house? I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Eavesdrop. Put glass on. I love this part of the game. The glass on door. With the help of the drinking glass, you can hear a conversation behind the side door. They can't know why you're really here. Who knows what could happen? Of course. Who the heck is that? I understand the potential risk involved. I will be discreet with my investigation. We'll just say you were in the area and that's how you got here so soon. Not that you were already on your way. Understood. The young lady, Margot. Yes, Margot. Is there any reason to believe her death was suspicious? She's always been a bit sickly. Don't bother yourself with that. What? I mean, okay, so I think Jack also was trying to kill her. What is Jack up to? Just make like you're looking into her death. That'll be a good cover, but focus on what you're really here for. Okay, Jack. Why is he here? What is he really here for? I don't know. Why? What else could he be here for? Murder? Is he a murderer? Everyone, that's the only solution I have, is everybody's a murderer. He's going to be pretending to look into Margot's murder, but he was already on the way here looking into something. He does kind of look like a Mountie, yeah. We'll find out. Man. So Jack and that other guy are up to no good for sure. That new character is up to no good for sure. Nessa is confirmed a murderer. And what about that friend of mine who's like my friend? Is she a good... You settle into a chair around the dining table. Ah, Nancy, there you are. We're about to get started. Why do I feel like this is Get Out? Where's Mr. Richards? Don't you worry, miss. Mr. Richards needs time to be alone with his thoughts. He'll probably be here in a bit. He's getting drunk at the dock. I think he might jump in. He's so upset over Margot's death, he might just go swimming with the fishes. And where's Nath? Never you mind, Nancy. Oh, this here's Ranger Murdoch. He was out on patrol by the train station. Lucky for us. I told him about poor Margot. He said he wouldn't mind stopping by and filing a report. A report? Whatever for. She had a fit and died. Bury her and be done with her. A little bit harsh. He looks like that kid in Game of Thrones I don't like. Wait, which one? It gives me the creeps having a dead body around. It gives me the creeps having a murderer around, but you don't hear me complaining. I'm sure nothing's amiss, but how do I turn down Jack's hospitality? I'll take a look, file a report of the death, and save old Doc Travers a trip up here. What about the bridge explosion? Do you have any news about that? Bridge explosion? News doesn't travel very fast in these parts. I'm out in the bush most of the time. Of course. I was so distracted by Margot's death that I completely forgot to mention the bridge to Ranger Murdoch. He definitely is involved in the bridge blowing up. Anyway, I sent the telegraph to the closest town. I'm sure the appropriate authorities are handling it. I'm sure. Bears and raccoons are more in my jurisdiction. Not much happens out this way. Tomorrow morning, I'll take a look at Miss Margot and be on my way. Sounds good. My, it's late. You must be bushed. I'll get you set up in the spare room upstairs. Are we done here? I'm dreadfully tired. I'm tired as well. Nessa and Corvus leave the table after exchanging what seems to be a series of impatient looks. Corvus knows that she's the murderer. They're all bad people. And yes, I would also be a bad people if the game let me be a murderer. And I'm still thinking maybe I committed some murders in my sleep. I'm not discounting that theory. Kimmy follows. Kimmy is the only one who hasn't done anything weird, but I don't trust her. Seemingly unwilling to appear rude by leaving first. By the time Jack shows the ranger to his spare room, you realize a lot of time has passed and Mr. Richards still hasn't turned up. Uh-oh. Drinking a lot by the water, not a good combo. I should check up on Mr. Richards. Excellent job! Oh, I completed chapter 4! I completed chapter 4. That was I got an achievement. I'm tired, yeah. Oh no, where is Mr. Richards? Escalations. I really like this font. Kim was hiding in a tree the last time we saw her? Oh my god, you're right. She was being suspicious in the tree. You are shocked to see such disarray. I don't like the look of this. I'm starting to think this is a Get Out situation where everybody here is doing something suspicious except me. Everybody is sus. I don't like the look of this. Type review to check the status of your investigation. Review. Is there any evidence of Mr. Richards' movements on the jetty? I should take a closer look and try to find some of his footwear too. It would be helpful to learn Mr. Richards' shoe size. I did see Mr. Richards on the jetty. I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? Me? Kimmy! Oh my god. What if Kimmy pushed him in the water because Kimmy was in the forest being weird, hiding behind a tree? Jack and the other guy were gone. Now I have to collect everyone's shoe size, just like the fingerprints. Look at jetty. I've never called it a jetty. I would call it a dock. I think I am the most sus. You're right. You can see scuff marks, shoe prints. There are also splashes of spilled liquid. There's broken glass scattered across the jetty. Some of it looks like it may have once been the crystal decanter. Some may have come from a drinking glass. Okay, well, I mean, just like pick it up with your bare hands. What's the worst that can happen? I shouldn't tamper with anything that could be evidence. At least not too much. Okay. Apply soot. No. Apply soot on jetty. Look for fingerprints. Oh yeah, that's true. I could use the word dock. Let's see, look at dock. It worked. Look at scuff marks. The scuff marks indicate that someone might have been dragged along the wooden boards of the jetty. These scuffs are pretty clear. Hopefully a closer examination will reveal more information. Examine scuff marks. That's not good. The direction of the scuff marks appear to lead away from the jetty and into the woods to the north. These scuff marks were made by rubber-soled shoes. I'm not sure exactly whose shoes made these scuff marks. I'll need to look into that. Mr. Richards could have made the scuff marks, but I'll need to find out what kinds of shoes he wears. Look at fingerprints. Examine fingerprints on jetty. There are no fingerprints to examine. Examine jetty again. So there's whiskey, we already know. There's broken glass and a wet shoe print. Examine shoe print. Oopsie daisy. Examine shoe print. Sir Devon's reading you to pat Hoot on the top of the head. Hi, Death and Dishonor. Yeah, we already did the interview. You can watch the VOD if you want. Pat Hoot on the head. Oh my god, I never told you guys. So because I moved my daughter's crib in this room, we're in here more often, and like sometimes I'm nursing her in this chair, and then so she's become obsessed with Hoot. Every time we come in and like I'm done whatever, she like gets up and then she's like, yeah, and she goes and she pulls down Hoot. And the other day I was like trying to get her ready for her nap, and she's like, he's huge, okay? She's like so little. She's like trying to carry this gigantic thing all the way to the living room. She keeps falling on him and like tripping over him because he's so big. And I'm like, I'm not helping you do this because I'm trying to get you ready for the nap. So she keeps picking him up and she's like, hoo hoo. And then she squeezes him and trips over him and hugs him. So she likes Hoot now, which is what chat always wanted. And I had to be like, okay, you have to say bye to Hoot right now. We're going to go take a nap. And when you wake up, he'll be there. And I left him in the living room, and she was hugging him. Because she was hugging the little Hoot, who's not even here right now because little Hoot is in the living room now because she's obsessed with little Hoot. She slept with little Hoot the other day. And yeah, so now she's obsessed with Hoot. She loves Hoot. And she squeezes. He's so big. I try. If I had my phone with me, I would take a picture or video from behind because she's so little compared to this gigantic Hoot that she's carrying. I'm not allowing Hoot abuse. She's actually giving him more affection and love than he's ever received because I hit him on the head, whereas she hugs him and kisses him. And it's just so heavy for her, and she trips. So she's getting bigger and taller and stuff, but it's very heavy for her. Oh, pat Hoot again. See, I pat him aggressively, but she gives him hugs, and she goes whoo whoo whoo. So I thought that was sweet. She does really like owls, like surprising. Chad always thinks my favorite animal is an owl. I think owls are cool. I'm not like obsessed with owls, but she has, against my will, become quite interested in owls. There's another book that we have that has an owl named Otis, and immediately she's like, whoo, 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 and she like loves him. So it's all coming together for you, chat. The godparents chat's her godparents. Hoot's her godfather, I suppose. Upon closer inspection, you ascertain the shoe print came from a size 14 foot. 14 foot and rubber soled. First of all, I need to determine whether Mr. Richards himself made any of the shoe prints I've found. Did Jack encounter Mr. Richards during this incident? I should find him and ask him about his shoe size. Who knows what size Ness's feet are under that long skirt? I'll need to investigate. Where have I seen Kimmy walking around outside? Could she have left some shoe prints on moist ground? Yes, I know where she's been walking, near the cliffs. What would be an unobtrusive way to learn Corvus's shoe size? I wonder if he's left any shoe prints anywhere. Albert could be mixed up in all of this, but I'll need to find out his shoe size before I can say for certain one way or another. Nathan could have made those shoe prints. I certainly can't rule him out. Have I seen Nathan walking in an area where he could have left shoe prints? I think so, and not too long ago. Type size check to review whose shoe size you still need to learn. Okay. Got it. The God Owl, yeah. How can you tell size 14 footprints by looking at it? You have to be a genius? Probably? I don't know. I don't think there's any here. Let's examine footprints. Upon closer inspection of Kimmy's shoe prints, you conclude that she wears a size 6 or 6.5. So it was not Kimmy. I think. Let's look at our notebook. Yeah. Hi, Shadox. Hello. We did already talk to the developer, yeah, at the beginning. About 20 minutes ago. It was really great, though. I'll probably upload it to YouTube. So if anybody missed the conversation, I will edit it and throw it up on YouTube if you want to watch it. Yeah, you can include it in the highlight, of course. Examine footprints. I don't think there's any in here. I was just cheating a little bit. Oh, thank you. Is there any footprints out here? I found some. These shoe prints look like they came from a size 14. Unfortunately, I haven't seen anyone sit here, so I don't know who made these. Maybe I can ask the others about who likes to sit here. Oh my god, I found the culprit. Yeah, shoes size 14 is huge here. So I don't think it would be a girl's shoe. It's probably freaking Jack. It's definitely Jack. But I will do my due diligence anyways. I will find everyone's shoes. I'm gonna go... I'm gonna just do the outside and then do the inside. Yeah, I don't know who has really big feet. Maybe Mr. Evans? Maybe it's a giant. I want to go to the shed. That was so fun. I can't believe we did that. I'm just kind of examining everywhere and kind of cheating. Kind of brute forcing. Craig, thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you. Suspicious. Speaking of 100 bits, they announced the September schedule. So new subs are going to be on sale. Tier 2 subs are going to be on sale. Tier 3 subs are going to be on sale. If you subscribe in advance, if you're like, oh, I like Nalvara's channel, I'm going to subscribe for 3 months or 6 months, that's going to be on sale. Gifted subs are going to get 1 bonus sub gifted if you gift 5, and then there's going to be some extra biddies given during September. But namely, it's the subscriptions that are going to be on sale. And so I'm going to start tracking how close we are to being part of the plus program, the Twitch plus program. And of course, as always, it's okay if we don't reach that milestone. But if there was ever a time that I was going to reach, because I'm halfway to the milestone. So if there was ever a time that I was going to reach that milestone, it would be in September. So that's going to start in September, obviously. And so I'll probably come up with some like fun milestones and stuff to try to encourage participation in that. Because basically, if we get enough new subs or tier 2 subs or tier 3 subs, like let's say we get like, I mean, 10 is a lot, but hypothetically, because tier 3 subs are worth 6 points, then bam, we would qualify for the plus program. Bam, just like that. Bam, bam, bam. So it's very exciting, and we're kind of almost there. But it goes by calendar dates. So for the PP program, it goes by calendar day, month, or whatever. I think, yeah, does it, what is the official start date? I think it's August 3rd. I don't know. You know what? I should check, because we're streaming on the 31st, actually, because we're doing our pottery stream on the 31st. Let's see, Twitch blog. It's here on the blog. September is upon us. It starts on the 29th. Wow, so for the pottery stream, it'll be up. That's kind of cool. There's all the deets for people. Let me get it on the screen. But for the PP program, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does matter. But for the plus program, you get the sale starting September 29th. But for the plus program, it'll count on the calendar month. It'll count on the calendar month, if that makes sense. So like it'll, because you need to qualify for 3 months. So I'll be trying to qualify for September, October, November for the plus program. But the sale starts the 29th of August. Isn't the 29th of Thursday stream too? So it'll hit Thursday before the pottery stream too. True. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. But essentially, if you subscribe for 6 months or 3 months, you'll be contributing to the plus program, because I have to qualify for 3 months, and your contribution will be a sale, which is a good, because these days subs, I understand and acknowledge and am saddened by the fact that subs are more expensive than they used to be 6 years ago when I started streaming. So I know not as many people can subscribe as they used to, and yeah, it's a lot. So, but this 30% makes a huge difference. So if you were planning on subscribing anyways, 30% is huge. Okay. Anyways, so these are all the details. There's the details. We'll talk about it more as we get closer to September, and I'll try to come up with some fun like sticker giveaways and incentives and fun things. And we'll be playing Loom and cosplay. We'll do our pottery stream. We'll do some fun September stuff. So yeah, okay, there we go. Do I still get the same percent? Yeah. For the sale, yeah. I think the only one that was, yeah, I think I still get the same percentage. And then if I get into the plus program, the whole point of qualifying for the plus program is that I would get a 70% cut. If I qualify for the plus program, I get a 70% cut from Twitch for the whole year, for the rest of the year. Like, so if I hit for 3 months, I just have to qualify for the plus program, and then everybody can unsubscribe, and technically I would still get a 70% cut for the rest of the year, which is pretty huge for me, because when I started streaming, it was 50%. So the difference between getting a 50% cut from Twitch and a 70% cut from Twitch is like gigantic. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, as far as I understand, September, it's always typically comes out of Twitch's cut. I sub 6 months at a time, September and then March. It's funny when they all expire the same week. I love that. I mean, I love sales. So it's kind of like when you subscribe to a streaming service for the year instead of the month to month, and then you get a deal. So it's kind of like that. This is true, Sir Devons. That would be unideal. But you know what I'm saying. That it's like it unlocks it for the whole year, which is a really big deal for me. Okay. But any questions about that? We'll talk about it more as we go on. But I was happy to see that they announced the deals for September, and you can read the the fine print to find out if you qualify or not. But like, namely, like Twitch Prime subs, if you want to switch from a Twitch Prime sub to a recurring sub, then that counts for the Plus program, and it's on sale. Like that would be on sale if you upgrade from a Prime to a recurring, and then you can always go back to subscribing with Prime afterwards. Yeah, like if you subscribe for the first time, or if you upgrade from a gifted sub to a recurring sub, or if you upgrade from a Prime sub to a recurring sub, if you upgrade to a tier 2 sub or tier 3 sub, or if you upgrade to a multi-month sub, those all vastly contribute to my Plus program numbers and just like general coolness. Okay. All right, back to the game. Hello. Signs of a struggle continue in the area around the smokehouse. The scuff marks and shoe prints continue along the path and into the smokehouse. Uh-oh. I think there's been a murder. I was calling for murder, and now there's murders. The door to the smokehouse is shut tight, but you can hear some indistinct noises inside. Eek! Eek! I think, should we examine before or anything? If I go from monthly to a multiple month sub, it'll help more, or if just confirm those months as a tier 3 sub. Yeah, it doesn't, you get the discount, so you should get the discount. If you go from monthly to multi-month, you get a discount. So that's worth it in and of itself. And it really just confirms to me that for those 3 months, I have that tier 3 sub for the Plus program. It's locked in, yeah. The points are locked in because it's 6 points, which is huge. A lot of people my size, I think, instead of, because you need 300, is it 300? Yeah, you need 300 plus points. And so it's tricky sometimes to get 300 individual subscribers. So sometimes, like, we're at 200-ish, so we need like 100. Some people of my size really depend on those like tier 3 because it's worth 6 points, which is a lot of points. And but I understand, of course, that everybody should subscribe at the level that they're comfortable with. The smokehouse is small, but it's nice to get the deal. It is nice to get the deal. And because of the way the pricing is now, because tier 1 subs have gone up in price, tier 2 and tier 1 aren't even that far apart. It's kind of crazy. At least in Canada, the Canada prices have gone up. And then also the mobile app prices are going up. So always remember to subscribe from the browser, not from the app, because you'll pay more if you subscribe to the app. The smokehouse is small, but looks like it gets the job done. A grate close to the ceiling is blackened by wood smoke. You can see the orchard to the north. Yes, yes. Tiny specks sparkling in the moonlight. There are scuff marks and shoe prints. Okay. I really don't like the look of this. There's something round and metallic shining on the path. It looks like a button. Oh, pick up button. You pick up the round metal button. Examine button. Metal button is shiny and appears to be pretty new. Aha! So this button belongs to Corvus. I need to examine the scuffs by the smokehouse more closely. Maybe that will reveal something. Yeah, for sure. Examine scuff marks. Only 28 more tier 3 to make it 300. Oh my gosh. Well, typically by the end of the month, we're around 200 points out of 300 points. So my goal would try to be like to get like 100, 120 points in September, which is a lot, but you know, we'll see. The scuff marks lead into the smokehouse. Uh-oh. Who would have made these scuff marks? Very good question. Examine shoe prints. These shoe prints came from a size 14 and size 8. It appears that someone wearing a size 14 shoes made this shoe prints. Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. Examine. Did I already examine the scuffs, but did I find everything? Examine ground. Okay. You do see some sparkles near the smokehouse door. Examine sparkles. That's what I was looking for. The tiny shiny specks are only visible in the moonlight. They're impossible to examine closely. Oh yeah, I should look at what my shoes are. Examine your shoes. Oh, look at your own shoes. Look at shoes. We're the murderer. Look how small our feet are, though. There's no way we're size 14. Okay, open door. There's gonna be a murderer. You open the smokehouse door. Ah! Oh! Nancy, I'm busy in here. Please step outside. Nathan is frantically rummaging in the smokehouse. Nathan, where's Mr. Richards? What's happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. If you don't have any helpful information, please leave me to figure this out. Oh, of course. Nancy! What do you mean, Nancy? On the one hand, I'm relieved that I didn't stumble onto anything ghastly. But on the other, where is Mr. Richards and what's happened to him? I'll need to come to some conclusions and present them to Nathan. Nathan? Nathan is not trustworthy. Maybe then he'll let me into the smokehouse and I can continue my investigation. I'm gonna need to figure out who was involved in the scene I found at the jetty. Maybe it is. Maybe Nathan is trustworthy. We have to be able to trust someone in the game, right? Uh-oh. I keep coming back to noveling, but literally this is my life. So noveling, my daughter has started, she used to say, uh-oh. She learned uh-oh pretty early. Sure, first she was saying and then she went uh-oh, and now she says, oh no! And so the other day I recorded her saying her, because she's gonna not say it as funnily soon. So I recorded her saying, oh no! And I thought it would be a really funny alert to put on the channel. So I have a couple audio bits of her saying, no! That maybe I'll turn into an alert sometime. She also says, yay. Like, so deadpan. Every time something exciting, yay, yay, and wow. I'm like, who are you? So I thought those maybe would be good alerts too. We'll see. Or maybe just like little text commands that chat can trigger in the chat to say, wow, wow, I'm a toddler, wow. She's very entertained, but it's really funny though when she says it all the time. Like a certain page of a book, she's like, wow. I say, the Great Blizzard. Wow. Yay. Oh, man. Yeah, it is a little bit Owen Wilson. But the best is, oh, no. We've been building magnetile towers, and then she knocks them down. Like, she breaks them down, and then she says, oh, no. I'm like, yeah, you broke it. Anyways, you see some possible signs of a struggle. There are scuffs and shoe prints in the grass and on the path, and some of the tree branches have been snapped off. Oh, goodness. Okay, look at shoe prints. Examine. Small people, it's so fun when they're learning words. It's so funny. It's so fun. You see some faint shoe prints on the path. Some of these look like the same size 14 shoe, but there are smaller shoe prints too, possibly a woman size 8. Examine scuff marks. The scrapes in the grass are deep, as if someone was literally digging their heels in to resist an outside force. The scuffs and scrapes are definitely leading away from this part of the forest and down to the eastern path. I need to identify the scuff marks on the jetty. Those ones are made on a hard surface, which might help in identifying them. Okay, yeah, because we know they have a rubber sole. Look at the branches. Some of the branches off to the side of the path look like they've been bent and broken. But what is that hanging? Examine tree. Examine branch. You can clearly see some long brown and gray hairs caught in the tree branches. Nessa? Uh-oh. Long brown and gray hairs. These look familiar. Collect hair. I'll take that. Thank you very much. You take some of the long brown and gray hairs. These might be useful bits of evidence. Sick. Okay, so we already examined this. Can I take the glass? No, I shouldn't tamper. Okay. Oh look, it's leading into here. Let's go look at people's shoes. Open door. Aha! Oh my god, so many shoes. Perfect room. Examine boots. Which boots would you like to examine? The women's boots or the men's boots? Examine men's boots. You take a closer look at the men's boots in the right-hand cubby. Thanks to your loop, you can clearly see the initials ER written on the inside of the boots in small letters above the number 12. These boots belong to Mr. Richards. Rubber soles, too. Nice. You also peer at the men's boots in the left-hand cubby. There's another pair of boots here that are marked with a J and are size 12. Ah, these must be Jack's boots. These have leather soles. Aha! The shoe prints I found on the jetty aren't Evan's! It doesn't appear he walked away from the jetty. He was pushed in. Or dragged. The scuff marks I found on the jetty leading away from the jetty were made by rubber-soled shoes. These rubber-soled men's boots belong to Mr. Richards. He's a practical man. I recall he was wearing a similar pair of brown boots the last time I saw him at the jetty. Uh-oh, I think Evan was forcibly dragged away. I did see Mr. Richards on the jetty. I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I'll need everyone's shoe sizes before I can figure that out. Examine women's shoes. You can just make out tiny letter M's in the women's boots, just above the number 5.5. That confirms these boots belong to Margot and that she wears size 5.5. That's so small. It's the tiniest of feet. Tiny little baby feet. Okay. So, examine the long hair on the tree branch. We did. The shoe prints don't belong to Evan. Evan was dragged away. Margot. So we still need a few more shoes. Shoes. And we have to use the key. Margot's vanity. Ah, I forgot to lock my door again. I've had more than enough of your company, Nancy. Please leave me to my work. Examine shoes. I want to look at his feet. Examine his feet. Look at feet. Ask shoe size. Ask foot size. No. Ask for feet pics. Examine feet. What do you want now? Shoes. Shoes. Does he have any shoes? Open dresser. Open wardrobe. You open it. Examine shoes. He's just sitting there right there like, what the frick? You can see a small number 12 marked on the insides of the shoes. Uh-oh. That doesn't seem good. Albert size? What the heck? There's 3 size 12s? Everyone's the same freaking size. That's not very good. Alright. That's your shoe size? Murderer. Freaking murderer. I knew it. Are there any shoes in here? Oh, there are. Examine shoes. You peer into the shiny, well-maintained shoes. Thanks to the loop, you can read the size printed on the sole, even though it's a bit faded. I see. These shoes are size 14. Seeing as they are set down by Corvus's bed, I think it's safe to assume they are his shoes. Well done. Thank you. Corvus! Corvus is the baddie, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's the baddie. I'm just collecting things. I think I can hear someone or something moving around in the walk-in closet. You can hear rustling and clattering and muttering voices. Use glass on door. Put glass on door. You can't use the drinking glass on that door. It's currently open. Oh no! Eavesdrop! Ah! Which door? This one? Should I just go in? I'm gonna go in. Who is that? What are you doing? Don't you dare touch a thing. I'm looking for my ruby brooch, the one Margot stole. Oh, well, I can help you look for it. Not on your life. You'll just pocket it for yourself. Get out of here. I think I know where it is. Use key on... Oh, no, 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 no. Unlock vanity with key. Open vanity. The vanity doors are locked. Unlock vanity. You slide the small silver key into the vanity's lock. It fits perfectly. Open vanity. You open the drawers. Oh, I didn't ask about the mirrors. Tikian was wondering to ask Julia about how she made the mirrors in this game. I didn't ask though. Look in drawer. Most of the drawers are full of various cosmetics meant for various parts of the face and don't interest you. But one drawer holds something worthy of closer inspection. You see a slim wooden box with a hinged lid and a smooth leather handle. Type exit or click the exit button to stop your examination. Get box. This belonged to Margot. It would be wrong to take it. No reason why I can't take a peek inside though. Open box. No worries. Yeah, ask her. I mean, that's the great thing. The fact that she streams, then you can ask her whatever I didn't have a chance to ask. Did you enjoy the interview? Bursting with curiosity, open the slim wooden kit. What the heck is this? What? The kit contains a host of mysterious objects of particular interest are a pamphlet, a glass bottle, a metal box, and a small ampoule. Hey, that's my kit! Isn't that my kit? I feel like that's mine. Oh, it was so fun, Milan. It was wonderful. It was so good. I think it was really fun, and I hope that those who missed it get to watch it later. The puzzle-dependent chart with multiple solutions to a puzzle, creating that would have been quite tough. Yeah, for sure. Look at pamphlet. The pamphlet is printed with tiny words and fine paper. Examine pamphlet. The smooth onion skin cover of the pamphlet seems to have a spot of oil on it. Add soot to pamphlet. Check pamphlet for fingerprints. She's Canadian. You don't seem anything noteworthy. Oil, there's oil. Look at oil. A spot of oil on it. Check for fingerprints. Hi, Super Bob! Thank you for the 32 months! Thank you.
Does this game, in fact, have a crimson diamond?
So far, we haven't seen any diamonds. No diamonds were seen. Read pamphlet. The cover of the pamphlet reads, Ehrlich's Magic Bullet, kit prepared by W. Martindale, chemist. Closer inspection reveals a white powder residue at the bottom of the jar, a strip of damp flypaper inside the jar, and a sooty fingerprint on the outside of the jar. Upon closer examination of the fingerprint on the jam jar, and comparing it to the rest of your collection, you conclude, aha! This fingerprint belongs to Nessa. Why does Margot have this kit? Pamphlet, glass bottle, metal box, and small ampoule. It's a shiny lid. Open metal box. You've never been good at opening these types of little metal boxes. After chipping a nail, you decide to leave it alone. May have some oily smudges on it. Check for fingerprints. I just want to get fingerprints. Why is everything oily? Yeah, there was a diamond at the beginning of the game which had a fish. A fish had a diamond in its mouth. And the city is called Crimson. Examine oil. Examine ampoule. The small ampoule is a single-use glass vessel that prevents air from spoiling its contents. The ampoule is a paper label pasted to it. Read label. The paper label reads Salverson 6G, single-use, manufactured by W. Martindale. There's even smaller print near the bottom of the label that you can't quite make out. Look at tools. Glass bottle with rubber tubing attached to its top. A pamphlet printed with tiny type on smooth onion skin paper set into a little niche in the side of the lid. Read pamphlet. I mean, I already did this, but... Chemist. Open jar. Open ampoule. What chapter are you on, Chameleon? And what chapter is everybody on if you're playing this game? Have you beaten it already? Are you making your way through? A glass bottle with rubber tubing attached to its top. A glass ampoule with a blue label catches your eye, and a metal box with rounded edges polished to the shine. Can I take the box? Take metal box. This belongs to Marco. It would be wrong to take it. Open box, but it won't let me. You decide to leave it alone. Open jar. It's already open. Open tools. I don't know. You're in chapter 4. Okay, so I've passed where you're at now, so it's spoilery a little bit. Ashamed to say I'm still in chapter 1, but I wasted all my first few hours trying stupid things and taking screenshots. That's amazing. Bought this game, haven't played it yet. Well, I'm glad you bought it and are supporting the developer. Can I ask a question, or are you still not open to that? Yeah, sure, ask a question. I'm very perplexed right now. Can I just take the whole kit? Smooth onion skin cover of the pamphlet. Seems to have a spot of oil on it. Why is there oil on it? Check for fingerprints again. Check for oil prints. Is the code on assembly of huge switch case statements? Did we get any comments on that? What was in the ampoule? The small ampoule is a single-use glass vessel that prevents air from spoiling its content. Has a paper label pasted to it. Read label. Salverson 6G, single-use, manufactured by W. Martindale. There's an even smaller print near the bottom, but you can't read it. Look inside ampoule. Open ampoule. It's already open, I think. Can't do that. Oh, I missed your message. Now has the taste for interviewing, so there will be soon a nalvara podcast. Yeah, that would be fun. Everyone's into podcasting. I mean, I like just streaming on Twitch, but apparently there's got to be something in it. Everyone seems to want to have a podcast. Like, even celebrities are like, I have a podcast now. There must be something about having a podcast that is fun. That is good. I feel like my stream already is like a podcast. But yeah, that'd be fun. Did you read the pamphlet? I did, yeah. I have. I thought. Pamphlet. It just says the cover. Maybe I have to read inside. Take pamphlet. Oh, I didn't look inside the pamphlet. Because I read the pamphlet. I typed read pamphlet, read pamphlet, read pamphlet. The interior of the pamphlet has detailed instructions on how to administer the mysterious contents of the kit. The instructions are complicated, involving sterilizing water, dissolving the yellow crystals in caustic soda, methyl alcohol. The instructions go on to say that an assistant is required to help administer the injection correctly. This acidic solution ought to be injected deeply and slowly into each buttock. Ouch! I don't think I want to read any more. There's an extremely small paragraph at the bottom that you can't quite make out. Use ampoule. Oh, frick. Read with ampoule. Is that what it's called? What is this? Loop. Sorry, not ampoule. Read with loop. Examine paragraph. Oh, with the end of your loop, you are able to discern the following. Warning. Ehrlich's magic bullet contains arsenic. Administration in excess may lead to nausea, seizures, and death. Do not exceed appropriate dosage. I'm so confused because Margot... Oh. Margot died. Margot died. Margot is dead. We know that Nessa poisoned her with flypaper. Arsenic. Why does Margot have in her possession arsenic also? Unless she took it from Nessa. Or she was also trying to murder someone in the butt. I'm telling you, everybody's a murderer. I said that from the beginning of the game. I think Jack was trying to murder Nessa. I mean, Margot, even though they were maybe in love. But I really do think Jack was in on something. And then also Nessa was trying to murder. And then also Margot was trying to murder? Maybe? Frick. Arsenic. Oh dear. Oh dear. I really thought that the brooch was in here, but it's not. Look at Nessa's hair. Long gray and brown hairs you found caught on the broken branches of a tree. Examine hair. They still have the follicles, indicating they were removed with some force. I found these caught on some broken branches that look like there was a struggle in the woods. Only Nessa has hair like this. Nessa, why were you in the woods? Ask Nessa about hair. I found some of your hair caught on a tree branch. It looked like it was pulled out with some force. Oh yeah, my hair got all tangled up when I was looking for Evan in the forest, and I had to pull pretty hard to get myself free. That certainly doesn't prove anything. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Wasn't Jack reading this pamphlet with Margot earlier? Was she? I can't remember. I feel like, yeah, they were maybe in cahoots, but also this guy's also in cahoots. Ask for shoe size. Ask for shoe size. What I know about that would probably go over your head. Look at shoes. Don't you dare touch a thing. I'm looking for my ruby brooch. I can help you look for it. No, no, no. She doesn't let me touch anything or look at her feet. Classic. Eavesdropped on a conversation through a door between her and Jack. He was reading a pamphlet and she was thanking him. You hit it when he left the room. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my theory is correct then, right? But wait, between Margot and Jack or between Nessa and Jack? Oh, so Margot and Jack were trying... I think because they were lovers, it's possible that they were trying to murder... what's his name? Evans. The label on the ampoule also had tiny print. That's true. Open kit. Examine ampoule. Examine label. This compound contains arsenic. Administration in excess may lead to nausea, seizures, and death. Do not exceed appropriate dosage. Oh, Margot, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, dust metal box and kit for fingerprints. Oh my gosh. I thought I tried to do that. Dust metal kit for fingerprints. You don't think that would benefit from an application of soot? You apply some powder to the metal box. Aha! Your application of soot has revealed 2 fingerprints on the metal box. I wonder if there are more fingerprints to be found. Examine fingerprints. You've revealed fingerprints on the metal box. There are 2 fingerprints. One looks like Margot's and the other's Jack's. We already knew this. Why are Jack's fingerprints here? I should ask him. No! You don't go around asking murderers things. Jack has been cleaning other bodies. Yeah. He's not loyal. It was made to sound like they were doing something some hanky-panky, but he was referencing a pamphlet. He made a joke about him just checking her skin. Yeah. Well, we know they are lovers. I think. Pretty sure they're lovers. Pretty sure we're lovers. Like, me and Jack are also lovers, but that's a different lore. Margot and Jack were in cahoots. Margot's dead. Jack is up to no good also with that other guy. Apply soot to jar. Examine fingerprint. Apply soot to pamphlet. Examine fingerprint. Examine fingerprint. Oh. Examine fingerprint on pamphlet. Examine I really have a hard time spelling pamphlet. Belongs to Margot. Okay, examine jar. Nessa. So everybody's fingerprints are in this freaking thing. Nessa's fingerprints are on the jar. And Jack and Margot's fingerprints are on the box. And Margot's fingerprints are on the pamphlet. I think it proves your point that multiple people were administering arsenic to Margot. Maybe why Jack looks remorseful. Yeah, I think that they were both poisoning her. Because Jack gave her that suspicious soup, remember? And Nessa was more successful, though, with her water. I think. Okay. I need more shoes. Also, where is the red brooch? Oh, hi, Nancy. Is there something wrong? I think it's time to move on. I feel like I've worn out my welcome here. Oh, why do you say that? The people here are so unfriendly, rude even. I much prefer birds and the great outdoors. I mean, I wouldn't hang out somewhere where there's been a murder either, so I get it. Not to mention poor Margot. The lodge is full of so much tension, angry muffled voices, slamming doors. I'm gonna head to bed soon. Maybe things will look better in daylight. I hope so, Kimmy. Good night. Good night, Nancy. Examine shoes. Ask for shoe size. I'm sorry, Nancy, I don't know anything about that. Ask for shoe size. Look at... Oopsie daisy. Look at her feet. No one wants me to look at their feet. Very unfortunate. I already got the shoes from there. There's no shoes here. I would love to... Can I assist you with your field report? I'd love to learn a thing or two from you. I can't spare any time to instruct you. I'm a very busy man. Okay, bye. Already got his shoe size. Faint noises coming from the closet. It sounds like someone's in there. Ooh, eavesdrop! You definitely hear someone or something in the upstairs closet. Oh, pardon me. You've stumbled upon the ranger rummaging in the closet. What you doing? Ranger Murdoch, what are you doing in here? Oh, Miss Mabel, is it? You certainly gave me a start. At least close the door if you're going to be rummaging. Jack directed me to the bathroom, but I don't seem to be in the right place. I'm used to being out in the wilderness, but a bucket doesn't seem that appropriate as a bathroom, eh? Ah. The bathroom is across the hall from the spare room. Oh, I thought Jack sat across from the stairs. My mistake, excuse me. Very suspicious. Open box. Open trunk. You tried a silver key in the blue trunk's padlock. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. The blue trunk has a big padlock on it that requires a key, which you don't have. But he was trying to get into it. There's a large blue trunk between the wardrobe and the shelf. Look at padlock. What if I just, like, hammer it? You know, use hammer. Nope. Hit padlock with hammer. Yeah, he was trying to pee in the trunk. That's weird. I need a key for that. Message the lockpicking lawyer on YouTube. I'll get into it in 23 seconds. Lockpicking is actually like a pretty cool hobby. I have a friend who got really into it, and he so happens to be a paramedic. And so it's come in handy, like a hobby, a lockpicking hobby is helpful as a paramedic sometimes. Open door. What's going on in here? See any shoes? I don't see any shoes. There's a display cabinet beside the fireplace, a fancy desk with brass fittings. You surmise the room was used by Evan's father. Doesn't seem to be his taste. A door to the west leads outside. Papers. Examine papers. Someone has stepped on the documents. Ooh, scattered over the lush carpet and has created very clear imprints of their shoes. Aha! I already know Kimmy's shoe size, so this shoe print must belong to Nessa. These shoe prints definitely came from a woman's shoe, judging from the heel, and none of the men have feet nearly this small. I'd say these shoe prints are a size 8. Nessa's shoe print matches one of the shoe prints I found outside the smokehouse. It's possible that she's involved in Mr. Richards' disappearance, but I need to verify that. Upon closer inspection, you think you can barely discern a couple of oily spots on one of the papers. I don't know how to examine the oil. Examine oil. Look at oil. Use soot. Apply soot. Pick up paper. You're a mineralogist, not a forensic accountant. Examine paper. So I already did this. I got the imprint of the shoe. But what did it say about the oil? Oily spots on one of the papers. Maybe that's just going to come up later, like someone's hands are greasy and the person who touched this oil is the same person who touched Margot's kit. I don't know. Unless there's a way to apply soot. Yeah, how do I get the fingerprint again? Reveal fingerprint. Look for fingerprints. I want to smash with a hammer. Yeah, the lock. How do I do it again? What's the term? Reveal a fingerprint. Put soot on paper. Oh. After carefully applying a bit of soot you find, I found a couple of distinct fingerprints. Aha, you've uncovered a couple of fingerprints on one of the papers. Examine fingerprint. Look at fingerprint. Aha! 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 Okay, can I get paper? No. Compare fingerprint. The finger on the print on the glass jar belongs to Nessa. Upon closer inspection and comparing with the set of fingerprints you've collected, you conclude one of the fingerprints I lifted from the documents in the study belongs to Mr. Richards, which is as it should be. But the other fingerprint belongs to Nessa. Yeah, I mean, I think Nessa's been going through his stuff for sure. She's very suspicious. But also, where's Jack? He's so suspicious. I want to blow out the candles now that we know we can do that. Blow out, or we can't do that. Leave the candles alone. It's not your birthday. Yeah, everyone seems sus for sure. That's what I've been saying the whole game. I'm glad to be vindicated that I was correct and I'm not crazy and that everybody's actually bad. Ask Jack about Margot's kit. Ranger Murdoch was trying to get into Blue Trunk. Have I gotten everyone's shoe size? I think I have to go outside now and try not to die. Yeah, seriously, that's what I was thinking. Is Nessa's been on a brooch rampage. She probably touched everything in the whole house. She's trying to go through. She was also trying to find the will, if you recall. Hi, Adrian. Thank you. Thanks for the resub plus a penny.
Have a penny.
Thank you. How many months was that? 56. Oh my god. Oh my god. You'll be, what is it, 5 years before Christmas. 5 years before Christmas, Adrian. 5 years! Sorry to yell at you. That's a long time. That's like my whole life. I have to pause for a second. Yeah, pause. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for the resub. Thanks for the biddy. Be right back in a sec. Hi. Hi. Hello. I'm back. Hello. How are the clips? What did you see? What a fun stream we're having today. Hadrian, you missed it. We did an interview with a game developer. Like, we're so professional, like we're so cool and professional, like, and cool and stuff. Are you guys having a good day? Are you having a good vibe, good day, good stuff? You saw me premeditating the earbud blending. I did not purposefully. I saw it today I was on TikTok, and I never go on my own TikTok page because I don't post on TikTok that much. But that TikTok video has like 20,000 views or something. Which is like great. Like, what? Lots of people like watching me blend my earbuds. But honestly, like, the full video is so a million gajillion times better because you see the entire era, the entire trilogy of story of the earbud blending. But anyway, I guess for me, that's like viral for me. I was literally in meetings until just now. Could you not make me feel worse? Well, guess what, Adrian? I will post it on YouTube and you can give it a thumbs up, and then it'll make up for it. It'll make up for it missing the interview. But it's really cool. It was really fun. How are you doing? How's your YouTubing? Will it blend? Oh my god. Well, I was just saying I have to get rid of these earbuds and get new ones. So I guess it's time to blend them. I still haven't gotten that food processor out since that stream. But now that we're done this interview thing, because that was exciting for this week, next week is the pottery stream. So now I have to start getting into pottery mode. So just a reminder that Saturday, August 31st is my first ever pottery stream. I'm quite proud because I know I'm not able to stream as much as I was before I had Nowling. And that's going to improve in the next 6 months. I'm going to be working towards streaming more often again. But I'm still doing like new stuff for the first time, which is really cool. Like doing an interview for the first time, doing a pottery stream for the first time. It's like fun to do new stuff. It's also PAX weekend. Oh no, PAX! That's unfortunate. Well, I mean, it's fun for people going to PAX. Are you going to PAX? How do you feel now? I feel great. I think it went well, I think, right? It was good, right? I don't know. You guys tell me. I feel like it went well, and I think it was smooth and natural, but I wasn't watching myself, so. You are? Oh, that's so exciting, Twinson. Oh my god. What are you hoping to see or do? Thanks, Amber Lamps. Anchor Soundcore earbuds. These are, what are these? I feel like my budget is like $10. What are these earbuds? I think they were $10 earbuds. They don't even have a label. Oh, they're Sony. They're not $10. They're Sony. But they were like, I don't think they were over $40. Three blocks from your office? Oh my god, and Dee's going? That's so fun. One day I have to go to one of these things, PAX or Comic-Con or something. My friends have been going to Comic-Con like San Diego Comic-Con the last couple of years, and they keep trying to get me to go. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Or PAX East? Anyone go to PAX East instead? Oh, good, Amberlance. I'm so glad. Thanks, Chris Cookies. I was a little bit prepared. I mean, it helps to talk about a subject that you are interested in. And I didn't have to reload a save. Yeah, it's true. I highly recommend PAX because it's super close to me. I think PAX would be a good start to like trying those kinds of things. I never know. I don't really, for like TwitchCon and stuff, I feel like I'm still a noob streamer because I've been streaming for 6 years, but I still don't really understand. I don't have a concept of understanding of how it works. Like in some cases, it seems like Twitch sends streamers and like covers some of their cost. And then in other cases, it just seems like streamers go for fun. And then in some cases, you're doing a panel at TwitchCon and like that's cool. And then in other cases, you're not doing a panel, you're just there. And sometimes you're streaming while you're there. And other times you're just meeting people like community members there. There's like a lot to know when you go to Comic-Con. I know nothing. I am Jon Snow and I don't know anything. But I mean, I feel like it's a very different trip, right? If Twitch is like, yeah, we'll pay you to go and do a panel and go to TwitchCon, like that sounds great. That sounds like that's for, yeah. Yes. But otherwise it's like a pretty big undertaking to go all the way to San Diego. Especially because, or like not San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. I was going to say not San Diego Comic-Con, but San Diego TwitchCon. Although I shouldn't complain because then there's that who hitchhikes there, and that seems like more work than taking a flight. It's true, everybody gets sick from conventions. Yeah, for sure. So you always have to prepare to like take a week off after a convention because everyone's sick. They get COVID or something. That's a good idea, Twinsen. Yeah, with Nowling, I can't do it, but maybe as she gets older. I was going to say I had tickets to San Diego Comic-Con. Not Comic-Con, sorry, TwitchCon. I had tickets to TwitchCon before COVID existed. And I canceled. But I was gonna go. Yeah, that's what it's called, Con Crud. It seems really fun though. It seems really fun. I have to be like less of an anxious person, I think. It takes a lot of guts to like go and like meet other streamers and meet other community members and like put yourself out there for brands and stuff. And like do a panel. I think it'd be really fun to do a panel. I think Ash is doing or usually does like some sort of retro gaming panels. She does all sorts because she's like a Twitch ambassador and she's a pro. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, I used to be a convention person. I used to go to Comic-Con here in Canada every year, but I stopped. Mostly because I just can't. You used to go and you like buy stuff, right? You go, you buy like art, or you buy comics, or you buy magic cards, or you buy like stuff. But now I'm in my like not buying stuff era because I don't have any room to own anything, and also I'm really frugal right now, so I'm not like I would just go. I feel like I would go to Comic-Con and then just like look at all the cool stuff that I can't buy and then be like, oh, I can't buy anything. It's not as fun as back when I would be like, I'm gonna buy a new comic and I'm gonna go to and buy a new magic card deck and I'm gonna buy stuff and art, always art and keychains and cool things. Artist alley. Playing games and talking to devs would be fun at PAX. That makes sense for sure. Yeah, she's doing a lot of stuff. She's amazing. I can never really afford to go to cons, but would love to go to more. Some of them are cheaper. Like you can do the ones where you just do one day, or like a Thursday is usually like a cheaper day. But the travel is a lot. That's why I was saying, like, if Twitch pays me to go, then I'd be like, yeah, sure. I've never been to California before. I'll go. But yeah, it's a bit different, I think, when you live far away. I've done a panel at the local con about computers. Oh, that's cool. If you're good at ad-libbing and BSing, you can get through it just fine. I feel I could BS. As a Twitch streamer, isn't that like my specialty? It's just to rant about things and ramble and rant, ramble and rant, ramble and rant. I could do a few different conversations, I feel like, panels at this point, because I've been a streamer for a while. But, or I'd rather just like the interviewing portion, like the hosting kind of portion and interviewing experts. Who knows, Amber Lamps? Next step, I think, what's another huge bucket list item is like hosting like a show. There's a weird fly on my ceiling and it just hasn't moved. It's just like staring at me. It's like it's weird. Anyway, like host, like, okay, you know, PC gaming show. Bam, I'm a host. Hello, welcome to the PC gaming show. I'm presenting a game. I love games and you love games and we all love games. Bam. That'd be really fun, even if I was just there for 1 second. Just like one game. Like, I just want to introduce one game and then maybe meet day 9. It's like no big deal. Is that fly watching ad free? Yeah, I know. Maybe it's a turbo subscriber. Okay, I'm gonna play games, I suppose. That's what I do, is play video games. I'm gonna have some water though. I can read a teleprompter maybe. I've never done it, but I could maybe possibly do it. I do have to see an eye doctor, I guess, though, yeah. I have to see a lot of things right now. Video games, yes. Back to video games. I was just thinking in my brain, I don't know if we're gonna beat this game today. Probably not. Because we're only in chapter 5 and there's 7. And yeah, so probably you're not gonna beat it today. Let's say we beat it Tuesday. Then we have Thursday stream. Do we start Loom on Thursday? Do we just get right into it? You guys want to Loom? Let's assume I beat it on Tuesday. And then we just Loom it up in cosplay, in costume. I think that's what's next on the agenda. I can't think of anything else that was on the agenda that was more urgent than Loom. Oh, there's also the Super Mario crowd control. Although we should probably do that in September, maybe. And then Saturday is the pottery stream, which is going to be whack. It's going to be wacky. It's going to be fun. Yeah, the new Zelda game is out, what, September 30th, I think? I have it all written down here. September 26th. So we still have time before new Zelda. Star Wars comes out August 30th, but I was hoping to get a key because it's probably a full price game and I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. When I first started streaming, I was like, I play every Star Wars game that comes out, period. That's it. That's it. No questions. But now it's like, because we play different kinds of games, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I'm excited about the Star Wars game, but I kind of want to see reviews, and I'd kind of want a key, honestly. That's full disclosure. I want Ubisoft to send me a key. If they do, then I'll play it. If they don't, I'll probably wait for a sale. That's like my realistic answer. You're a potter? Oh my god, I'm so jealous of everything, of your life. Yeah, we're doing pottery. I'm not a potter. I mean, I've done pottery, but I'm not like an expert. But I'm doing pottery on stream on Saturday, August 31st, outside on my porch, on a pottery wheel. First time ever on stream. It's gonna be fun. The new one is coming out August 30th, the new Star Wars game. Can you get it centered? I can. Yeah, I've learned that much at least. I've done like 2 or 3 courses, which were like once a week for 6 or 8 weeks on the big wheel. And this one is going to be, it's a little wheel. It's a mini pottery wheel. So it's for miniatures. Well, you can make that to like this size, but it's mini. So it's a little bit different. That's the hard part. I know. My cousin is a potter and she said to like really master centering took her a year, which I kind of agree with because the fact I can center, yes, but not necessarily consistently and every time and easily and quickly, you know, like with my eyes closed, like some people, like I think you do with practice, which is why I wanted to have my own pottery wheel so that I could practice. Anyway, we can talk all about it during the stream because I'm sure some people are like, what is centering? Okay, back to mystering and murdering. But yeah, time for earbuds and pottery. That's not wrong, actually, Shadox, because my hands are going to be all clayey. So if something falls in the wheel, it's game over. Oh, Nancy, I'm busy in here. Please step outside. Nathan is frantically rummaging in the smokehouse. Nathan, where's Mr. Richards? What's happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. If you don't have any helpful information, please leave me to figure this out. I have helpful information. What? I need to come to some conclusions to present to Nathan. Maybe then he'll let me into the smokehouse. Can I show him evidence? Show evidence. Show footprints. Maybe I haven't found enough evidence yet. I did see Mr. Richards on the jetty. I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I'll need everyone's shoe sizes before I can figure that out. Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. I thought I was doing pretty good on the shoe prints, but let's see. Examine shoe prints. Size 14 foot. Examine fingerprints. Apply soot. Place soot. What is it? Put soot. Put soot on jetty. Put soot on jar. Put soot on glass. You carefully dust the overturned drinking glass from prints and reveal... Aha! Fingerprint! I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. Examine fingerprint. Examine glass. Evan's fingerprint. That makes sense. I did see Mr. Richards drinking out of this glass earlier. True. Compare footprints. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I don't think so. How else? What else do I do here? What's the first thing it says when I write review? It says, I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. Yes, I've already done that. Whose shoe prints are around the smokehouse? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. Okay, I guess I need to figure out some more shoe prints. I have Margot's, Evan's, Jack, Albert, Corvus's. Am I missing Nessa's? No, Nessa's a size 8. Who's missing? Anyone know? We have Nessa, we have Corvus, we have Albert, Jack, Evan, Margot. I don't know what other characters there are. Jack is the bad guy. Albert's the other bad guy. Corvus is also maybe a bad guy. Margot, Evan. The yeah, is it just the ranger? He just arrived. I think I've been typing review and it says, I wonder if he left any fingerprints, which we already just concluded he did. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I need everyone's shoe sizes. Whose shoe prints are around the smokehouse? Good, thanks for catching to Moosey. Thank you. Hi, Moosey. How's it going? Search for footprints. You cannot do that. Maybe there's footprints in here because it's like wet on the ground. Look at ground. Because maybe we can get the rangers. The ranger's footprints. So we have to go look at the ranger maybe? This is a character I'm forgetting about. Oh yeah, and there was these ones. Where the clearing gives way to dense forest, the ground gets softer and moisture gathers in low areas, particularly around the bench where sitters' feet over the years have created a depression in the earth. Look at shoe prints. They look very fresh. They look like they were made a few hours ago. Due to the shade provided by the bench and the nearby trees, the ground under and around it is damper and softer than other areas. Examine shoe prints. Hi, Omni Overworld. They're size 14. But she doesn't know who. Oh, right. I have to ask who likes to sit there. Okay. I forgot about that. Ask someone who likes to sit there. Where are people? I think they're upstairs. Oh, this guy. Oh, what was that? What the frick? I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Eavesdrop! Put glass on door. With the help of the drinking glass, you can hear conversation behind Albert's bedroom door. What government agency did you say sent you, Mr. Respa? Your government sent me. The specific name of the agency escapes me. Here, I have the documents. I trust they're in order. Ah, thank you. Let's see. Yes, those look just fine. Of course they do. May I see your identification papers? There is a pause in the conversation. Even with the aid of the drinking glass, you strain to hear what comes next. See here, officer. I'm a very busy man. I don't have time to root about in my documents to produce my identification papers at the moment. I'm here because my government is doing a favor to your government, yes? Wah! Wah! Strong international relationships are vital, especially in the times to come. Doubtless you are aware of the current state of world affairs. I am. So if I were you, I'd take a step back and turn your attention to the dead woman in the cellar, which is, after all, the reason you are here. It's not the reason he's here. It's not the reason he's here. So much for Canadian hospitality. Ah! Oh, nothing, just hanging out. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Miss Maple, good evening. Good evening. Can I look at his feet? Oh, he's gone. Hi, Albert. How are you? He studiously ignores me. Ask about chair. You are too curious. Ask who sits outside. Ask about outside. Ask about outside chair. Ask about sitting. Ask about loom. Oh my god, that'd be a very good Easter egg. Hi, Sleepy Owl. I really thought he would tell us something. I already know his shoes, though. They're size 12. Yeah, I already got his shoes. Let's go ask the other two goofballs. Oh, you know what? Let's ask her. Kimmy? Ask Kimmy about chair. Ask Kimmy who sits outside. I don't know how to phrase that. Or ask who sits outside. Ask about outdoor chair. Ask about sitting. I don't know why they have such humongous feet. They're very, very big feet. Maybe they're a different sizing chart in this universe. Like maybe it's just a different, it's different. I don't know. Sorry for the yawning. Ask about blue trunk. Ask about brooch. My ruby brooch, have you seen it? I'm looking for it now. I'm sure Margot stole it. Now that she's dead and Evan's wandered off and Jack's busy getting the Rangers settled, I can finally look for it without a hindrance. Mrs. Crabbe is a fine woman. It only stands to reason she should own fine jewelry. Alright, weirdos. Maybe look for brooch? Where would Margot put it? She'd probably put it in this trunk. It's locked. Use key. Unlock trunk. I don't have the appropriate key. Look inside vase. It's empty. Look inside closet. Empty. Look in bookshelf. Look inside books. Look at shelf. Variety of books on many subjects. Most of them are in French. Maybe under the pillow? Look under pillow. Nope. Oh, Trish! That's French! Oops. Okay, I have no idea. What am I supposed to do? What do I do now? Let's go see... Where's Jack? Because that's suspicious. Ah! There he is. Ask Jack about chair. Ask... Talk. Talk to man. Hi, Nancy. Whoa! I'm just taking a bit of a break before I go up to bed. I've been really being run off my feet these days. Ask who sits outside. Ask about sitting outside. Ask about yard. Ask about outside. Ask about feet. Look at shoe size. Ask about shoes. Me? I wear size 12 shoes, same as Mr. Richards. Not that we share shoes or anything, just makes it easier to remember. Ask about button. Does this metal button belong to you, Jack? Nah, Nancy, that's not mine. But I think Corvus's vest might have buttons like that. Why don't you go and ask him? That's a good idea, Jack. Is Corvus the guy who's in the salt room right now? Show hair. Oh, Corvus is the lawyer. Right. Okay, I can go ask him about the button. But what about the chair? Who sits outside? Frick! I really want to know, but it won't tell me. Nathan, right. Nathan, Corvus is the guy with Nessa the lawyer. Nathan is the guy who we have to show evidence to. Ask about button. No, it doesn't. Does this medal belong to you, Corvus? Oh, indeed. It must have fallen off when I was out for a stroll. Whose shoe prints are around the smokehouse? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. How do I learn? Do I know his shoe size? Corvus is size 14. But no, it says Corvus is size 14. Jack and Evan are size 12. Albert size 12. Yeah. It's just Corvus who has size 14 so far. Maybe the brooch is in the toilet. So maybe now I can just go and straight up go look at the salt room. What if I just go home? I'm like, I'm just out of here. I'll walk home. Forget. What is that noise? Should I follow the path of liquor? It came from here. Oh, it's just the path from the decanter thing. And then he took it all the way to the dock, and then he got drunk. There's definitely something shining brightly here, but it's still very hard to see. Examine footprints. These shoe prints came from size 14 and size 8 shoes. It appears that someone wearing size 14 shoes made these shoe prints. Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. Compare footprints. Compare shoe size. Compare shoes. Compare prints. I'm stuck. Anyone else have ideas? What do you think I should be doing right now? If I close this door on him and lock him in, and then I'm the murderer. Examine ground. I see sparkles. Examine sparkles. It's impossible to examine closely. Compare with salt. Oh, right. Shoe size? What was the correct term? Hi, lunatic! Oh, that's a good idea. Pick up sparkles. The minuscule specks are no larger than grains of sand. You can only see them because of the light hitting them. You can't pick them up. Yeah, I forget what the term was to examine the shoes and the shoe sizes and stuff. The game told us, and now I forget. Shoes. Shoe size. Shoe prints. Oops. Shoe print. Size check. Thank you. I need to figure out whose shoes made the shoe print on the jetty. Whose shoe prints are in the woods to the north of the jetty? Mr. Richards wears size 12. He definitely didn't make shoe prints on or around the jetty. The shoe prints on the jetty come from size 14 feet. Jack's are size 12 feet. I know Jack didn't make these shoe prints, but who did? I know Nessa wears a size 8, but I need to rule out all the other guests before I can make a definitive conclusion. Kimmy wears size 6.5. She wasn't involved. What a relief. Corvus wears size 14. He could be involved, but I can't say for certain until I learn everyone else's shoe sizes. Albert and Mr. Richards have the same shoe size. Neither of them could have made any of those shoe prints. Nathan could have made those shoe prints. I certainly can't rule him out. Have I seen Nathan walking in an area where you could have left shoe prints? I think so, and not too long ago. Nathan is the guy in there. And isn't this dirt wet? Look for prints. Yes, thank you, robots. No, not those. Look at ground. Are there no shoe prints here? Oh, there are shoe prints and scuffs. But I guess I don't have anything that confirms that they're Nathan's. A size 14 and a size 8. What size is Nathan's feet? Open door. Hey! Can't I just look at his feet right here? Oh, he kicks me out. Okay, where was Nathan? He was around here, obviously. There's shoe prints on the grass. Smattering of shoe prints here that appears to come from 2 different size shoes. Most of these look like they came from size 14, but there are a few here that look like size 8. Is that helpful? Did I do it? Size check? I don't think so. I think we're still missing Nathan. Where would Nathan make shoe prints? Where would Nathan make shoe prints? Nathan has been in the office. He also drove at one point, didn't he? Examine the ground. I have to think like a shoe size. Where does Nathan live? Where does he hang out? Nathan. I don't know. I can just look at his feet. Maybe he hung out near this gazebo. Stray shoots of grass are working their way up through the gaps. Check foot shoe prints. He lives in Ontario. True. Where does he... What's his room situation? I feel like it's outside. Wouldn't his shoe prints be the ones right outside of the salt house? Because he's in the salt house right now, so we know, unless he floated there. Unless he hovered. Wait, did we already check for his shoes in the mudroom? Open drawer. Look inside drawer. It's empty. Open drawer. Look inside drawer. The right drawer contains some dried mud and a part of a broken shoelace. Get shoelace. It's half a shoelace not long enough to be useful. Look at shoelace. Examine shoelace. The shoelace looks like it was worn down over time before it eventually failed. Dried mud. Examine mud. Get mud. Yeah, where do you think, Chameleon? I'm stumped. Wait, why is there... Look in closet. Old clothes. Old red shirt. Examine shirt. Oh, I haven't looked in the boathouse. That's true. Aha. Aha, 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 aha. The riverbed looks muddy and damp. You don't see any shoe prints or other interesting marks. Ah! How could this happen to me? Are you sure? I made my mistake. Examine canoe. Canoe bobs up and down over the river currents. Cattails line the riverbed. You can see a cliff looming to the west, forest to the north, and the bridge to the east. I'm gonna have to use the hint guide, chat. Unless you give me a hint. Either chat gives me a hint or the hint guide gives me a hint. That's okay, Chameleon. It was definitely a worthy venture. But alas, the game is being tricksy. Did I find Corvus after getting the button? Yeah, I went and talked to Corvus. And he confirmed it was his button. I did see Mr. Richards on the jetty. I wonder if he left any fingerprints behind. We did that already. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I'll need everyone's shoe sizes before I can figure that out. Whose shoe prints are around the smokehouse? Learning everyone's shoe sizes will help me figure that out. The game told me to ask about the chair, but I couldn't figure. I couldn't. No one wants to talk to me about the chair. Let's see. Look at chair. Examine chair. Examine ground. Particular, a bench. Oh, bench, not chair. You can see some shoe prints by the bench. Who sits in the bench? I wasn't using the word bench. Shall we go try a different term? Bench, bench, bench. Bench. Yeah, bench. Ask about bench. Woo! The wooden bench outside the study. Mr. Richards never sits on it. Too hard on his back. Me either, for that matter, nor Matt. Seen Corvus sitting there when he wants to be by himself. Aha! Corvus sits in the it's Corvus. Corvus sits in the bench. Corvus sits in the bench. Corvus sits in the bench. So that means they're Corvus's, but we're trying to find Nathan's footprints, I thought. Foot size. Ask about, oops, no one's here. Wrong room. Ask about bench. That bench has been there ever since I was a girl. It gave me splinters. I've avoided it ever since. Corvus seems to like it well enough. No one else does. There's a bench outside between the lodge and the gazebo. I like to go out there for a breath of fresh air. No one else seems to use it. It's a good place to be alone. Why would I want that? I thought it was your button. Show button. Ask about button. No, it doesn't. Indeed, that's his button. Yeah. Okay, so it's his button. I mean, Corvus is up to no good. We know, I have enough evidence to j'accuse. I don't know what Corvus is up to, but we know he's up to something bad. Don't know about that guy. Yeah, we should go talk to Margot. Her dead body. I had no idea you could do this. Pretty cool, right? Did you interact with the bench at all? It's kind of spooky. Oops, I went too far. Okay, so we know examine shoe print. They are from a size 14 shoe. I saw Corvus sitting here earlier. These shoe prints likely came from him. The style of his shoes also matched these prints. Okay, perfect. Perfectamundo. So we know that Corvus's shoes are a size 14. Okay, now what? Now I don't know what to do again. Because I was still kind of trying to find... Okay, Corvus, Albert, Jack, Evan, Margot. And we know Nessa's also size 8. So the only person left is... What's his name? Albert? But Albert won't... Oh, Nathan, sorry. Yes, Nathan. But Nathan won't let me look at his feet. Where has Nathan been? Maybe he was... Maybe we... Oh, does he hang around here? At this point, we just have to look everywhere. Examine ground. Just tackle him, yeah. Examine footprint. I don't think there's any here. What about here? Look at ground. I think this is just Jack's territory. Jack hangs out here. I'm gonna check where Margot is after. Nathan was at the river earlier. Where the rope is? I know where he is right now. He's in the salt house. So I thought that the footprints outside the salt house would be obvious. Obviously his. Hi, Margot. Ask Margot about Bruges. You can no longer ask Margot any questions. Deep. Deep. Look at ground. I think it's really funny that a lot of the game is looking at the ground because everybody knows that's my weakness. By the jetty talking to Jack. Okay, let's go back to the jetty. The source of the liquid appears to be Mr. Richards. Oh. You don't mean blood. Like the liquid isn't Mr. Richards, but he dropped whiskey. We know these are corpses. About how they used to be able to throw the sparkles in the water. Oh yeah. They were by the marsh here, weren't they? Look at river. They were here, I thought. Nathan and Jack have left shoe prints all along the riverbank. Oh my god, yes! Okay. Examine shoe prints. Yeah, because they were here. Right. I don't know why I can't just look at his feet, but whatever. Jack was walking quite extensively on this part of the riverbank. These shoe prints are size 12. Let's go over here and see. Nobody wants to tell us about Loom. The shoe prints on this side of the bridge are quite large and freshly made. Considering I witnessed Nathan making these shoe prints, I conclude he wears a size 16. We've done it! Oh my goodness. Okay, I got everyone's shoe sizes. Corvus wears a size 14. He was involved in the altercation at the jetty. Nessa and Corvus's shoe prints were found leading away from the jetty. Not to mention their shoe prints are all around the smokehouse. Mr. Richards seems to have been dragged into the smokehouse, though I'm still not sure why. Judging by the shoe prints in the area, I'd say Corvus and Nessa are the culprits. I've learned everyone's shoe sizes and ruled out all other possibilities, so I feel pretty confident about this conclusion. I've also recovered one of Corvus's vest buttons. It seems to have come loose in the struggle. But I need to connect the evidence outside the smokehouse with the incident at the jetty. I should go back to the jetty and take a closer look. I've looked a lot. I've looked so much. I've looked a whole lot. Okay. Look in water. Look at river. Look at, what are those thingy calls? Those what's the marsh? Question about the jetty? Question, yes? Jetty? Ask about jetty? Look at jetty? Yeah, what are those called? Good place for fishing. You see scuff marks, shoe prints. There are also splashes of liquid. Cattails, yeah. I don't know. Lift fingerprint. I don't know if I actually typed the word lift. I might, like when you type, when you look at our notebook, I was missing some things. Examine fingerprint on drinking glass. Examine fingerprint. Examine glass. The fingerprint you obtained from the overturned drinking glass, you conclude this is Evan's fingerprint. I'm surprised it doesn't cross it off in your notebook. Okay. The chime was for lifting the fingerprint. Compare fingerprint. Upon closer examination of the fingerprint you obtained from the overturned drinking glass, you conclude that this is Evan's fingerprint. That makes sense. I did see him drinking out of it. Oh my god, Prometheus! Prometheus! Thank you for the 54 months. Oh my gosh. I faint. I'm aghast. Thanks so much. That is a long time. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime. So Nessa is also holding the glass. Yeah. There's a lot here. Scuff marks, shoe prints, splashes of spilled liquid, broken glass, the decanter. Look at decanter. You see fragments of faceted glass scattered on the wooden jetty. Yikes! Whatever happened here, it doesn't look like it was a serene encounter. Examine fingerprint. Examine glass. Yeah, your sub is old enough to go to kindergarten. So I've already done this. But it still wants me to look for more fingerprints. Examine jetty. While there are some splashes of liquid on the jetty, they don't appear to be water from the river. Look at all this glass. I can see scuffs and a wet shoe print. Examine glass. Oh, I already typed that like 100 times. But I didn't mean the drinking glass, I meant the broken glass. Examine water. Examine whiskey. Examine footprint. Thank you for the follow. Okay. So maybe now I can go to the guy? Maybe, perhaps, possibly. Hello. I have lots of helpful information. I'll need to come to some conclusions to present them to Nathan. Maybe then he'll let me into the smokehouse. I have lots of information! But I'm missing something. I'm missing something. I don't know. I've also recovered one of Corvus's vest buttons that seems to have come loose. I need to connect the evidence outside the smokehouse with the incident at the jetty. Maybe there's shiny things. Maybe there's something shiny. There's liquid. Have I examined the liquid? The liquid here is yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even the moonlight, you can see that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. The liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol, but not river water. Mr. Richards was here not that long ago. If he'd drunkenly fallen into the river, I'd expect to see water marks on the jetty where the impact caused splashes. Besides the spilled alcohol, the jetty is dry. Maybe that was enough now? No, it still wants me to find fingerprints. Anyone have any idea what fingerprints I'm looking for here? Apply soot. Put soot on dock. Put soot on whiskey. Put soot on jar. Soot. Put soot on decanter. Oh, I thought it was broken in a million pieces. Oh my goodness. I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge. Examine decanter. You peer at the shattered remains of what is clearly the crystal decanter. I last saw this in Mr. Richards' hands as he was seated right here on this jetty. What on earth happened here? Oh my, the decanter would have needed to be picked up and thrown down with some force to break it like this. You revealed 2 fingerprints on the remnants of the decanter. After peering at the fingerprints on the broken bits of the decanter, you conclude one of these fingerprints belongs to Evan. The other is Nessa's! We knew that. According to my findings, Evan was dragged away from the jetty. He didn't wander off and he didn't fall into the river, nor did he jump in. Corvus was involved somehow, and so was Nessa. I'm satisfied with my investigation of the jetty. According to what I've deduced, Nessa and Corvus attacked Mr. Richards at the jetty and dragged him into the smokehouse. Their shoe prints are all over the jetty and leading to the smokehouse. The scuff marks I found came from rubber-soled shoes of the kind that Mr. Richards wears. No one else at the lodge wears shoes or boots with rubber soles. One of Corvus's vest buttons somehow ended up near the smokehouse, too. Some of Nessa's hair was caught in a tree between the jetty and the smokehouse. That's definitely unusual. Nessa and Corvus were discussing something about a will, but whose? Oh, but I remember overhearing a conversation between them about looking for Evan and Nessa's father's will. Yeah, they want to kill Evan and take his money, duh. Could this have something to do with it? I'm satisfied that with my investigation so far, it's time to go inside the smokehouse and share what I've learned with Nathan. Yes! Yes! Nathan! Nathan! I have a theory! J'accuse! I'm listening. There are shoe prints all over the jetty leading into the smokehouse. Yes, I saw those, but I have no idea who those could belong to. Well, if you weren't just rummaging through salt for the last 3 hours, you could have helped me. I did a bit of detective work and learned the shoe sizes of everyone in the lodge. You did? I certainly did. According to my findings, I've concluded that Nessa and Corvus dragged Mr. Richards off the jetty and into the smokehouse. We know that Nathan was working with Jack, right? Suspicious. That makes a lot of sense to me, Nancy, but where is he now? That's what we need to find out. He's either in the barrel, in the salt, or in the oven, in the pot. You're absolutely right about that. Please let me take a look in here and see what I can find. You've done very well, Nancy. Maybe you can figure out where Evan is now. So far, I've come up empty-handed. Do you think he's been salted? What a feat of achievement. Thank you. If you find anything of significance, please let me know as soon as possible. Will do. Or he's the meat hanging from the ceiling. Oh, one more thing. Yes, Nancy? Nessa seems to be desperately looking for something. I'm not sure what. I mean, she's looking for the will and she's looking for her brooch. She's made a mess of the study. There are papers all over. I think it has something to do with a will. I heard them talking about it in the parlor last night. A will? Come to think of it, they were discussing Evan and Nessa's father's will. That was after dinner yesterday. I need to go talk to Jack about all of this. Meet us in the study when you're finished here. You can tell us all about this ersatz will and the mineralogical report then. Good luck, Nancy. Good luck to you too. There are murderers about. I really don't think I should be left alone to my own devices out here. Okay, what have we here? We've got some meat and salt. An array of smoked meat and fish are hanging to dry and cure. A work table with I like it. An array of smoked meat. Body, human meat. A work table with a deeply scratched work surface is against one wall. You see a big bag of salt, a barrel, and a large pot. The smokehouse is in disarray. Debris covers the table and the floor, and there might even be something on the wall. Eek! What happened here? She's so innocent and cute. Examine wall. Let's start there. There's a symbol marked in something sticky and red on the wall. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled in with the red substance. Uh-oh. I wonder what the symbol is painted with. It's definitely not paint. It's sticky, drippy, red, and a bit chunky. Examine symbol. Uh-oh. 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 Lick. Red. Okay. Yeah, what? Take a sample. Can I just look at it again? What are the words that she uses? Red substance. Can I examine the red substance? Examine. Yeah, I tried licking it. Okay, because you would figure out quickly if it was blood or not if you licked it. Examine meat. Eat meat. As much as you enjoy meat, these ones are securely hanging from rods and too tough to eat with your hands. Examine fish. Examine salt. The rock salt is composed of irregularly shaped crystals which are generally cubic in shape. Some of the crystals appear irregularly shaped, more octahedral than cubic, but salt is fairly brittle and is water soluble, so they can be just about any shape. Examine barrel. Examine pot. When I leave, there's no telling what could come here and tamper with the scene inside. I don't think I'm quite done with my investigation here. I should examine the inside of the smokehouse more closely. Maybe I should take a closer look at the floor. What on earth is this sticky, glistening, luridly red substance painted on the wall of the smokehouse? I must find out. I need a way to tie Nessa or Corvus to the scene. Finding fingerprints would be great, but there aren't many smooth surfaces in here. Look at floor. You see tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. You can barely make out some yellow fibers. Do I also see some crumbs? Look at fiber. Frayed fibers littering the floor. Pick up fiber. Rope fibers. Examine fiber. Fibers have come off of a woven hempen rope. Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Uh-oh. He's in the freaking salt. Okay. Look at crumbs. I wonder what these crumbs are from. Examine crumbs. With the aid of your loop, you conclude that the crumbs are probably from the thumbprint cookies you saw Jack baking earlier. Well, anyone could have eaten cookies, but Jack was definitely making cookies. I can even... Do you think he baked them in... Did he bake him into the cookies? I can even see that some of the crumbs have bright red raspberry jam on them. Who would bring the thumbprint cookies into the smokehouse? Examine jam. Examine wall. I think it's jam. Red substance. Lick, eat it. Eat red. Eat wall. Lick wall. Seriously questioning your own judgment, you crane your neck towards the wall and stick out your tongue. You gingerly touch the tip of your tongue to the smokehouse wall. Yes. Oh, it tastes like jam. It worked! I tried it before, and then I tried it again. I was very determined to lick the wall. Or blood, like jam, blood, whatever. Either way, we'd get an answer. Listen, it's 1914, I don't know. You don't care about death. Great! That's wonderful! Why? Why did Jack put weird jam symbols on the wall? What is wrong with him? Examine table. There are jagged fragments of Jordan almonds scattered all over the table. Why the frick would there be almonds? Why in the world would Jordan almonds be in the smokehouse? That's a very good question. Eat some almonds because I'm hungry. He doesn't want to. I don't lick things, okay? But if I was a detective, I of course would. Because what else are you paid for if not licking things? Put soot on table. Dust barrel. Dust meat. Dust floor. Dust wall. Dust pot. The large pot is already blackened and caked with ash from years of smoking meat. Trying to acquire prints from it would be fruitless. It was a good thought, though. Thanks! Dust fish. Dust other wall. Dust door. Dust door handle. What are all these fragments on the table? The almonds. Pick up almonds. You remove some of the Jordan almond fragments from the table, taking great care not to pierce your skin on the jagged pieces. Compare almonds. I want to compare the almonds to the almonds in my inventory. Examine almonds with my loop. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see the conchoidal fractures in the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. Shiny like obsidian too. Eek! I know that Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be that these were used against him? This looks bad. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be Nessa was trying to weaponize them to use against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. Hi! Oh, hi, Satina. Hi, Adam. Thanks for the 67 months. Thanks for the 67 months. Oh my god, that's a really long time. Yeah, this game came out last week. We just talked to the developer on our channel about a couple hours ago. We had the developer on the channel. She's very inspired by the old Sierra games, made this game as kind of a passion love project in inspiration of the old adventure games. Very much inspired by Colonel's Bequest. But yeah, oh right, I turned that off earlier because it was on a timer. Let me turn it back on. Exclamation mark info. There it is. But yeah, and it's made by a wonderful developer named Julia, who we had on the stream earlier today. And I think everyone should support it so that more games like this get made. Wait, what did she just say? What are all the fragments on the table? Yeah, so I think it's they're in cahoots. Well, Inessa tried to poison him with the almonds. These candy shells are like glass. What if I put soot on almonds? Dust almonds. You carefully dust the Jordan almond fragments for fingerprints. And amazingly, you're able to recover a partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. Yeah. Examine fingerprint. You can see that it's Nessa! Nessa is bad person. Bad. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. I just wanted to... I'm gonna end soon, but I wanted to get past this part. So... Can I compare fingerprints? After comparing the partial fingerprint you obtained from the Jordan almond pieces, you conclude Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. Yeah. Do I leave now? I think I figured it out. Nessa crushed the Jordan almonds on the table. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. She was trying to weaponize them against him. That's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming the entire time. I wonder if there's another way to figure out the jam aside from licking the wall. Judging from the frayed rope fibers, Mr. Richards could have been tied up in the smokehouse after he disappeared from the jetty. I think Mr. Richards partially freed himself and painted a symbol with raspberry jam. Oh. He took care to conceal the symbol under the table. It could indicate where he was taken next. The symbol looks like the thumbprint cookies that I saw Jack baking, and their middles were filled with raspberry jam. I remember Jack saying that Mr. Richards likes to stash the cookies in his pockets. And I did find cookie crumbs on the floor in the smokehouse. But what does Halongrada mean? I should ask someone. Halongrada. Oh, thanks for giving me some to Satita. And I hope you've been doing well, Satita. Long time no see. I hope you've been doing amazing. Thank you so much, Chameleon. Halongrada. I should ask Nathan and Jack about Halongrada. I still think Jack is up to no good, just saying. Halongrada. Okay. Leave. Exit. Open door. I can't get through the door. Okay, I did it. Okay, that's a good place to stop because then on Tuesday's stream, we can ask about the cookies and try to find him. I mean, I thought the symbol was a circle and he was trying to draw a symbol. He might be in the gazebo. You know, that gazebo, where is it? Or he's in the oven. Because he's like a cookie? I don't freaking know. Why did he draw that symbol? It's a circle with a circle. Hello? This looks like a, well, it's not a circle. It's a gazebo. Okay, he's not here. But he could be, maybe. Or he's in the oven. I'm gonna quit the game now. Okay, thank you so much. What a wonderful stream today. We had a game developer on the channel. We did a little interview with the game dev on the channel. I'll probably upload that to YouTube. I will 100% upload that to YouTube. If anybody missed the interview with the game dev, please support games like this. It really goes a long way for more future adventure games. I'll be back on Tuesday, and I think we'll beat this game on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. I feel pretty certain That will beat it on Tuesday. And then Thursday, maybe we'll start Loom. I'm supposed to do a Loom game in cosplay. Loom is also an old adventure game, not a text parser though. And I have a costume. I have a costume. So that's gonna happen. That's happening next week, assuming we beat this on Tuesday. And then Saturday is the pottery stream. First time ever in my whole life doing a pottery stream. I always said if I won the lottery, I would retire everything and be a potter. So this is like my chance to like do pottery on stream. I think it's kind of cool. I'm really glad you enjoyed the interview portion of the stream too. Thanks. I'm so glad. Thank you. I hope you really liked it. Oh, bye, Acupuncture. Enjoy the VOD. Thanks, Sock Fan. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Thank you for the support. Thanks to everybody who supports when I do fun or try fun new things. And sometimes it works out. I'm not interviewing anyone next week, but you never know. We'll see. We'll see who wants to be on the stream. Thank you so much. I think it was really fun. It was a really good thing to try. I was pretty nervous, but I think it worked out. And it was really fun. And it's nice to talk about game design and learn stuff. I learned stuff today. It was great. I think it went really well. Maybe we'll have Roberta on one day. That would be amazing. Oh my god, I'd cry. Okay. Bye everyone. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Yeah. You never know with this channel. We'll see.